All right, this update is brought to you by eBay. Game 4 of the World Series last night. Blue Jays, after suffering a heartbreaker in Game 3, come back to win Game 4 6-2 to even up the World Series at 2 games apiece. Game 5, according to Magic Johnson, it's a crucial one, John. Tonight, 5 o'clock at Dodger Stadium, Savage against Snell. And moving over to Padres news. Kevin Acey reporting earlier today, the Padres have narrowed down their finalist list for their managerial opening. Nick Hundley, Ruben Niebla, and Albert Pujols are among the finalists. Swapping out your tires, there's nothing like it. With eBay, you'll find the feel you're looking for, from smooth highway rides to grip for rough terrain. Get all the tires you need at prices you'll love. eBay, things people love.
Getting you all set for that drive home. Let's just start the show. Here's John and Jim.
San Diego and Southern California, what's going on? This is hour one of John and Jim, and we do have some developing news related to the Padres managerial search. Who cares about Game 5 of the World Series? I disagree with Magic Johnson. It's not a big game. It's not a must-win game. Loser of Game 5 is not going anywhere except to Toronto.
Right, the series isn't over.
It's not a big game.
If you lose Game 5, you go to Toronto. If you win Game 5, you go to Toronto. There's nothing that changes here.
What's bigger, Game 5 of the World Series or the Padres down to 3 or 4 finalists for their manager gig?
I could argue that the Padres deciding their next manager is significantly bigger than anything going on in this World Series.
It will be on this radio show. We have a good show lined up. Darnay Tripp, friend of the show. Remember, he had promised that a manager would be named last weekend.
Perfect day to have him on.
So he's going to join us at 4:30. He didn't make that promise, but Darnay Tripp, friend of the show, will join us at 4:30. Tim Murray is a good friend of ours. Vegas Sports and Information Network. Is San Diego State a serious contender for the college football playoff out of the group of 5? Tim Murray has the latest there. He'll join us at 2:30. And JD Wicker, San Diego State's athletic director, will join us at 5:15. Just a couple of days in front of homecoming. And oh, by the way, we have homecoming tickets to give away. San Diego State playing Wyoming.
That must be nice.
This Saturday at 4 p.m. We'll give those away in the 4 o'clock hour, but we'll start with Kevin Acey's reporting, which is the Padres are down to 4 or fewer in terms of finalists for this managerial position. That group, as we reported yesterday, or Kevin reported, we talked about, does include Albert Pujols. It also includes Nick Hundley, who spent 6 or so seasons playing with the Padres, and Ruben Niebla, of course, their pitching coach. It's unknown who the remaining candidate or candidates may still be, but Niebla, Hundley, and Pujols are finalists. And here's the big news out of that. A decision is expected by the end of the week.
I could be right.
It could. I mean, tomorrow is by the end of the week.
Yep. I said Thursday. I'm picking Thursday as the day we find out who the next manager of the Padres is, because that's the next off day in this World Series. If it doesn't happen tomorrow, then at the earliest, it would probably be Sunday or Monday.
Yeah, or Saturday if the World Series went 6. But yeah,
right,
exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, and here's the thing. This is typical with a manager timeline. You're gonna get this done around the World Series, just before it,
kind of have
just
to
after it, because GM meetings are in a couple of weeks in Las Vegas. So, all right, we knew Pujols got the second interview. Reportedly, Niebla and Hundley will as well. We'll see if there's this 4th candidate or not.
There's always a mystery candidate, John.
Is it a mystery candidate, or is it someone that has been previously reported, like
Ryan Flaherty,
Brian Esposito? Here's the thing. Out of this group, we talked about it yesterday, Pujols, Hundley, Niebla. You made the good point that Niebla's under contract. You have him either way, presumably.
Unless he wants to leave, if he does not get the managerial
I mean, that's
job.
a whole other conversation. Like, can Pujols get the job by forcing the hand of AJ Preller or the ownership group and be like, we don't want Ruben Niebla? That to me seems curious. So if Niebla's going to be here either way, and maybe he won't, then you could argue you could hire the other candidate. You still keep Ruben Niebla.
Yeah. And looking at the 3 names here, Nick Hundley. By the way, Nick Hundley removed himself from the Giants managerial pool. About a couple of weeks ago, it was reported that Nick Hundley was a guy that Buster Posey was looking at and targeting. And then right before word got out that Tony Vitello was going to be the new manager of the Padres, it was reported that
the Giants,
that Nick Hundley removed himself from consideration. So that's a little interesting. Maybe there was something at play there that Nick Hundley thought that he had a better chance to get the Padres job than the Giants job at the time. Anyway, it's interesting nonetheless.
Mm-hmm.
I look at the 3 candidates here, Hundley, Ruben Niebla, and Albert Pujols. I like them all. I do. I don't look at any one of these candidates and I'm like, anybody but this guy. You can't have this guy be the manager. If it's Nick Hundley, I can see positives with Nick Hundley. If it's Ruben Niebla, I can see positive with Ruben Niebla. And if it's Albert Pujols, I can see positive with Albert Pujols.
Sure.
I think that this is a good group of managerial candidates that are potentially going to be the next manager of the Padres. I really do. It's not any random Jace Tingler name that we're like, who the hell is that guy? Or some, former manager that's been around the league forever. That's just a retread. It's all fresh, new. I mean, I know that none of these guys have been managers, but I don't know about you, John. I just feel like the names that are being presented right now that Kevin reported on today, Hundley, Niebla, and Pujols, I like all three of them.
Yeah, I think it's a good point. I agree with you. A former catcher always makes sense, right? There's a lot of former catchers that are managers or future managers in the major leagues that would, potentially be the checking the box of Nick Hundley. The other thing that Kevin reported is that, yes, while Hundley has worked in the Texas Rangers organization, he resides in San Diego. So maybe that had something to do with him not being interested in the Giants job, although he's been with the Rangers. But he resides in San Diego. Niebla, to your point, sort of, what you're getting with Niebla, not necessarily as a manager, but as a person. The quality of a coach that he's been in this organization. And then with Pujols, I think what he represents. And what he represents is this distinguished playing career and this ability to hopefully reach your true stars, the Machados, the Tatises, and the Bogarts. That relatability, a true star relating to other stars. I still stick with what I said yesterday. All things being equal, I'm choosing Albert Pujols. I just am. Maybe it's a bit of a risk or a gamble. They all are. You're not committing to anyone for 10 years. Nobody's going to be here for more than 2 or 3 years as it is. Because of that, all things equal, I think my ideal situation is Pujols managing with Niebla as the pitching coach. That's my ideal situation. But what might be more likely is like a Nick Hundley than it would be an Albert Pujols. But my dream scenario, considering these candidates, remains Albert Pujols. I just like that more than the other options.
Why can't they just hire them all? You have Ruben Niebla under contract. Hire Albert Pujols, Nick Hundley as a bench coach.
I like that.
And then bring over Yadier Molina, bring over Fernando Tatis Sr.
Yeah.
Let's go.
I like that.
That's like a dream team right there as far as coaches go. I don't know how that would work, the dynamics of it, but just hire them all. Screw it.
I mean, here's the thing. If they hired Nick Hundley, I agree with you. I'm not saying he's a poor choice at all. Again, a former catcher, I think makes a lot of sense. He spent a lot of time.
I like Nick Hundley a lot.
But what is it specifically about him that we like? His playing career being as a catcher, his time in San Diego previously, his post-playing career days in a front office. What is it? Is there a specific thing or is it a combination of those things?
I think just knowing Nick Hundley, the person, and wherever he's gone, everybody has spoke very highly of Nick Hundley. Being a former catcher in the big leagues, obviously it's shown that if you're a former catcher, you have a good, head start on potentially being a manager if you want to become a manager. I think he's respected. I think being a former player obviously helps as well. Being a former San Diego Padre is a nice little touch, right? I think all of that makes me look at Nick Hundley as a very attractive option for this job. Same thing with, Ruben Niebla. He's been here. He's, been amazing as the pitching coach for this team. He has ties to San Diego. I just look at all three of the candidates and I'm not sitting here saying anybody don't pick this guy, don't pick that guy. If they went Nick Hundley, I would be fine with it. And I would actually be kind of excited. And I think Padres fans should be as well. If they picked Ruben Niebla, I'd feel the same way. Albert Pujols, for me, is still my top choice. And I think my excitement level for Albert would be greater than if they hired Hundley or Niebla. But it wouldn't be like if they hired Ruben Niebla and Nick Hundley, I'd be like disappointed, if that makes sense.
Well, it's interesting now that I'm putting 2 and 2 together. Like, okay, here was a front runner for the Giants job. He withdraws. Former backup catcher of the Giants to Buster Posey. Posey's making this hire. He withdraws. Some of it has to do with family considerations. His family resides in San Diego. Mm-hmm. You're withdrawing from a major league manager vacancy For what reason?
Probably he knew that he was not going to get the job, and Tony Vitello was.
But the reports from, I'm just going through the story right now from October 18th, is that he was the front runner until he withdrew, and then the Giants made the U-turn.
Well, maybe the Padres reached out,
exactly.
and then it was like, you know what? Actually, I would much rather focus my energy on trying to get the Padres job than the Giants job.
And if that is the case, then maybe he is the front runner. If you withdraw from the Giants position to be considered for the Padres, do you do that and then finish in second place? And maybe he will. Maybe they have a better candidate, or maybe there's something we don't know, which is there is a strong likelihood that Hundley, if he so chooses, because again, he withdrew from a previous opportunity. If this is what he wants, maybe this is what he gets. You put the 2 and 2 together.
Yeah. And look, Albert Pujols, you can say the same thing. He was supposed to be at the World Series yesterday or 2 days ago, whatever it was, and he left to have a second interview with the Padres. I think it was before
yesterday.
Game 3. It wasn't yesterday. It was before Game 3.
No, he was on MLB Network for Game 3. That report came out yesterday that he interviewed.
So he left for Game 4?
He wasn't there yesterday.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he was on TV for Game 3.
All right, so maybe I could go down that route of Albert Pujols is also a very serious candidate if he's leaving his obligations to MLB Network to go interview again for a second time for the Padres.
True.
I could say about all of them, and I see in the chat, Pujols has no experience. Does Ruben Niebla have any experience as a manager? Does Nick Hundley have any experience as a manager? The thing with this next managerial hire, I'm close to guaranteeing you it will be somebody with no Major League Baseball managerial experience, because I don't see any retreads out there that the Padres would go and hire. I just don't, unless it's Bochy, but it's not going to be Bochy. So whoever else it would be first-time managers.
What if I told you? Now, I did rip the Tony Vitello hire, but we'll see. But what if I told you? Yeah, kind of. I just think it's so outside the box that I'm like, and maybe it works. I feel like there's a reason why no organization has ever done what the Giants are trying to do. So I don't love it personally. But with all that being said, what I'm going to say maybe is counter to that point, which is I think Major League managerial experience is overrated. And the reason I say that is you have so many tools at your disposal, more than ever, analytically, front office, and coaching staff. And there is no double switching in the National League. All that matters, the only thing you're ridiculed over is pitching changes. You could be a manager for 22 years and you could be ridiculed for your pitching changes.
Also
it's
the
about
lineup.
Pitching changes.
Also the lineup.
Yeah, but the lineup, a lot of these organizations, a lot of this is coming analytically. We were under the impression that Mike Shildt was running his lineup.
He was.
But that's okay. So that to me is not a big deal. Having previous manager experience, because we're ripping guys with 10 years of manager's experience with their lineup cards being written.
But I'm just looking at Mike Shildt. Mike Shildt was given full autonomy to write his own lineup. And the guy was so stubborn, he would never move the rise of the lineup. And then for games 2 and 3 of the wild card series, or actually the entire wild card series, he decided to have the 3 lefties in his lineup that just created such an easy path for the Cubs.
But he didn't have Ramon Laureano. And here's my point. He has all the data available to him. They don't just give him a blank lineup card. He has everything sourced to him. It could not be an easier process.
Well, still, the point I'm trying to make is, I know you're saying it, all you talk about is bullpen decisions. Lineup decisions are also something that a manager could F up as well.
But you can turn to so many people is my point. You could turn to so many people when it comes to your lineup is my point. So I really don't think that would be a reason not to make a hire, because if you haven't managed previously, you haven't written out a lineup card. That to me doesn't really make any sense. All right, much more in this hire coming up on the other side. Plus, Tim Murray, Vegas Sports and Information Network, will join us at 2:30. We're here until 6 p.m. It's John and Jim, San Diego Sports 760, live on the iHeartRadio app. All right, Tim Murray is going to join us coming up at 2:30. I'm texting him right now because Tim is kind of cool in terms of he has radio equipment like in his home.
Yeah, he's like
he's got like all the like
he's updated his all like the cool stuff.
Yeah, we don't.
No, we don't have that. We have our laptops and mine sucks, and then I have like a crappy microphone.
Yeah, exactly. Now, theoretically, I would like to have that. The problem is it costs money.
That is the problem, yeah.
So that's the issue.
It's so easy to do.
So easy. Rich Ornberger?
I know.
Dude, that equipment.
I need to see what equipment
There was a football game 2 years ago at Oregon State. Remember this, Brent? Where the engineer was like, it was like some remote engineer. He couldn't get connected.
I was doing the pregame show.
Yeah, with me. And we thought we were going to have to like call the game off a monitor. And Rich took his equipment that he had and he just figured it out like on ChatGPT or something. He used some wireless setup at Oregon State's press box, connected, and kickoff started. It was amazing. He connected like 1 second before or after the game had started.
They did the entire broadcast off Wi-Fi.
The entire broadcast, which is like not recommended, but it was amazing.
I remember we were like 30 seconds from playing the Open, and that was when we got connected.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
And then we got connected, and then Ted just goes right on.
It was honestly, but anyway, so Tim's going to join us coming up in 10 minutes. Do want to remind you, spooky season is back in the iHeartRadio app. You can get into the Halloween spirit and stream all your favorite eerie hits, haunted classics, and chilling playlists, totally commercial free. Whether you're throwing a monster mash or just love a good scare, iHeartRadio is the perfect soundtrack for your spooky season. Listen now, if you dare. Open the free iHeartRadio app and just search Halloween. Real quick, just to put a bow on the lineup conversation. Yes, there's always going to be points of contention with lineups, of course. But do you, for as much time as we spend on the lineup, and I spend as much time as you do, or anyone, and I will make it a point if it has to be made a point, do you believe the Padres are in Cancun right now because of Mike Shilt's lineups?
No.
Either do I.
I think the players have more impact than the lineup. But I do think that
it matters.
It does matter.
Yeah, it matters.
Because you're putting guys in situations that if there's a opportunity that presents itself, the reason why this certain player's up is because of the lineup that you created.
Problem is they didn't have a great lineup.
They didn't have the right pieces in the end. The Ramon Laureano injury really hurt.
It did.
But you also still could have created a lineup where you didn't have that lefty lane like they did.
That I agree with. They certainly, yes. Was there a level of stubbornness with a Luis Ariz? Absolutely.
Oh, there was a massive level of stubbornness.
But at the end of the day, if they had an optimized lineup for 162 games, they're still in the wild card. There's no doubt in my mind.
Yeah, no, they're still in the wild.
Still probably in the same situation.
Probably. But I would have loved to see what would have happened if Mike Schilt wasn't as stubborn as he was. I would have loved to see a lineup where Luis Ariz wasn't hitting second every damn game. I would have loved to see a lineup where, you moved guys around instead of kept everybody in the same positions damn near the entire season in the lineup. I would have loved to see what it would look like.
I agree.
But we never did because Mike Schilt refused to.
Yeah, I mean, I guess my point is you could have Bruce Bochy manage, and I still would probably at times have questions about his lineup. Or you could have Albert Pujols manage, and I would still at times have questions about his lineup.
I think I'm just looking at this World Series. I know we'll get into the World Series here, but I mean, John Schneider's moving around his lineup constantly. I mean, Vlad's hitting second, third, fourth. Like, it is a constant moving of the lineup. Dave Roberts tonight, he's putting Will Smith in the 2-hole, moving down Mookie Betts, right? There's no egos here. It's, hey, I'm trying to do this to optimize the best lineup I possibly can. And that was a big frustration with Mike Schilt for this entire year. He refused to do that. So I do think that when you look at a manager, especially when I hear the general manager and I hear reporting that Mike Schilt had damn near 100%, he was 100% responsible for the lineup, close to it. Obviously, he gets all the information, like you said. Then, yeah, the manager also can be questioned and ridiculed and criticized for his lineups too.
Yeah, 100%. I guess you're 1,000% right. At the end of the day, the job of the manager is to be criticized by the media and the fans, because John Schneider, you're right. He may move his lineup around and maybe he will be praised for the way Game 4 played out, and a day earlier he was an idiot
for taking all of his big bats out.
It's like when you win, you're a great manager. When you lose, you're a moron. The truth is, obviously, that's not the case. The manager plays a role, but is not an end-all, be-all in determining winners and losers in regular seasons or postseasons. Can be. You never want to be the reason your team lost.
But also, it's not just about making lineup cards and bringing in pitchers in certain situations. There are things that we don't see that happen behind the scenes that the manager needs to keep everybody pulling on the same rope.
Well, that's kind of my point. I think the most important part of it, that's where Pujols to me is the largest checkbox in this area, is that the whole point of it is managing of people.
Right.
That's the most critical part of this. Manny Machado could hit second or third, but it's about the day-to-day for Manny Machado to keep him motivated, to keep him hungry, to keep him whatever he needs to perform at a high level. That to me is way more impactful than if he's off his feet one day or playing at third base or if he bats second or bats third. It's all those other things that we don't see to me that matter more. Yet what people always tend to turn to is, oh, how could you turn to Jeremiah Estrada there in the 7th inning?
Right.
That's how I kind of look at it, where, again, better managers have better teams by and large.
Because this year, at the end, one of the big talking points was Manny Machado being dog tired.
Yep.
And I think largely because Mike Shildt didn't have the spine to go to Manny and be like, hey, you're sitting today.
It's largely because nobody's going to go to Manny. Now, maybe Pujols would be that guy.
I
don't think Preller's going to Manny.
I would bet on Pujols being that guy.
Yep. I agree.
I would.
I agree.
You think if Albert Pujols went up to Manny and was like, hey, you're sitting tomorrow.
Yeah, like this is what we're going to do.
And if Manny goes, no, I'm not, Albert's like, you're sitting tomorrow. And then it's end of discussion.
Right.
Mike Shildt would never do that because he was too scared and he always coddled his players. Right. And then it was, in the end, it was too little too late. He tried to give him all these off days at the end and it didn't work. And he had a really bad second half. And once again, he underperformed in the postseason because he was so tired. You know, can a manager get to Manny and a game in July or a game in June, you know, can you be like, hey, Manny, you're sitting tomorrow. I'm not doing this. Like, we're not going to have you try to go out there and get your numbers all the time. It's not about you. It's about the team. And we're sitting you. You're resting.
It's necessary.
It is.
Whether it's the manager or the organization. All right, we'll switch gears. Tim Murray, friend of the show, Vegas Sports and Information Network, his thoughts on where this World Series currently stands. Plus, is San Diego State a legitimate threat to get to a college football playoff? What would it take even if the Aztecs were to win out? Tim Murray, who covers college football more with VSiN, will join us next on John and Jim.
All right, this update is brought to you by eBay. Game 5 of the World Series tonight at Dodger Stadium, 5 p.m. first pitch. Blue Jays even up the series with a 6-2 victory last night. Blake Snell on the mound for the Dodgers against Trey Yasevich for the Blue Jays. And moving over to Padres news, Kevin Acee reporting earlier today that the Padres have narrowed down their list for their managerial candidacy to a couple names. We talked about them in the show. Albert Pujols, Nick Hundley, and Ruben Niebla are the names that are being reported. Swapping out your tires, there's nothing like it with eBay. You find the feel you're looking for, from smooth highway rides to grip for rough terrain. Get all the tires you need at prices you'll love. eBay, things people love.
All right, so I was at Orange Theory today. That's the whole story. I was at Orange Theory today, and I left Orange Theory. We have Tim Murray, Vegas Sports and Information.
Where's this going?
Where's this going? Tim Murray, who's a longtime friend. We actually worked together in the minor leagues. I worked in the minor leagues, believe it or not.
What?
But Tim's with Vegas Sports and Information Network in Vegas, VSIN, and I see this tweet about updated Group of 5 odds to make the college football playoff, and lo and behold, there is San Diego State.
Dun, dun,
At
dun.
6-1 now for the first time this year on the list. I think he had him at plus 2,200. So a number of teams are shorter odds, so to speak, than San Diego State. So first of all, Tim, hope you're doing well, and thanks for joining us. I guess secondly, the question that San Diegans want to know and Aztec fans want to know, what would it take? I mean, if San Diego State were to somehow finish this off and win a Mountain West championship game, what kind of help would they need to reach the college football playoff?
Yeah, it's a fascinating discussion, and obviously winning out is the number one determinant here. And a home game against Boise State, on the road at Hawaii, those will be challenging. Right now, if I had to guess, probably about a touchdown home underdog to Boise State in 2 weeks. Certainly would be an intriguing spot there for me as a bettor to look at the home dog. But going out to the island, Timmy Chang, since taking over as the head coach of the Rainbow Warriors, has the best cover spread of any team in college football at home. So that's going to be a challenge next week, no doubt, when they go out there, and Hawaii has exceeded expectations. But, to answer your question, what would it take? Look, got to start with winning out and winning the conference, which means 2 wins over Boise State, which is going to be a challenge, right? So you start there, and then you're going to kind of need the AAC to cannibalize itself. And I think that's certainly possible. I mean, you look at that conference, and you saw Memphis lose to UAB as a 23.5-point favorite. So they've got a pretty ugly loss on their ledger. Then they beat USF. Memphis still has Tulane next week and Navy on Thanksgiving. So that's not an easy stretch. And you got to keep in mind, as everyone probably knows, but it's worth repeating, in order to make the college football playoff as a G5 auto bid, you got to win your conference. So I look at the American, and when you look at those odds, John, that you referred to that I tweeted out, this is a conference that, in my opinion, is the best G5 conference. And I don't really think that's up for much debate. I think the top portion of that conference versus the Mountain West versus the Sun Belt, the CUSA is just a disaster. The MAC also similarly a disaster. So you're really looking at 3 conferences that are vying for this G5 bid. So when I think about the American, you've got Memphis, you've got South Florida, you've got Tulane, you've got North Texas. Navy, let's be real, Navy's not going to pull this thing off. I mean, Navy's undefeated right now. Look at their schedule. They're a 6-point underdog at North Texas. They'll probably be about a 3-touchdown underdog at Notre Dame next week. And then they have South Florida, they've got Memphis, and then they'd have to win the American. I mean, that is just a ruthless run there for Navy. So I actually think 10-1 is probably too short, to be honest, for Navy. So I think Old Dominion probably shouldn't even actually, I'm looking at the wrong one. Okay, they have jumped off. So when you're looking at the American, I think you just look at it beating up itself, and then that opens the door for the possibility of San Diego State if they run the table. The last wrinkle would be James Madison. And what would the committee do in a scenario where, let's say, the American champion is, I don't know, North Texas with 2 or 3 losses? Would they look at a 12-1 James Madison or a 12-1 San Diego State? I think they would actually look at a 12-1 San Diego State with 2 wins over Boise, a win over a bowl-eligible Hawaii, a solid win down the stretch, because you're talking about what they would need to do. I mean, New Mexico is a decent football program that they would beat. Where does Cal finish up? That's a Power 4 win that they have under their ledger. So I actually think if San Diego State were to pull off the improbable, guys, and run the table, if the AAC kind of beats up itself, I actually think San Diego State at 22-1 would have a better chance than James Madison at 12-1, because James Madison's resume would be rather lackluster heading into the committee's decision.
What have you made of San Diego State's year so far? Has anything they've done surprised you, jumped off the page? What's your impression of them so far this year?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, outside of the weird blip against Washington State, I mean, look, full disclosure, I bet against them when they went to DeKalb, and I watched every excruciating second of the worst football game maybe ever played.
Wait, what are you talking about?
In the history of college football? I don't know if that's hyperbolic. If it's the history of college football this year, got to be a top 5 worst game of the decade. That game was just horrifying.
It was one of John's best calls of the season.
Yeah, walk off.
Yeah. So I did have him in that one. But look, I mean, all kidding aside, and John, you tweeted this, 5 of their 6 wins are by double digits. That's really impressive. And, talking with a couple of my buddies who are, professional gamblers, my buddy Brad Powers puts out a newsletter every week. And on it, he has his power ratings and his updated power ratings. San Diego State is only behind Indiana and New Mexico in his biggest gains from where he had them rated preseason to where they are now. So he's upgraded them almost 10 points. He's upgraded them 9.5 points in his power ratings. And that's only behind Indiana, who he upgraded 10.5, and New Mexico 10. That's telling you something. And, I didn't know what to, when we talked at, media day, I didn't know what to expect from this team, but they're really strong defensively, as you guys know. And, I think this team, I'll say this about Boise State. Boise State is good. They're not great. This isn't a vintage Boise State team. They don't have Ashton Genty. They went to South Bend. I'm a big Notre Dame fan. I watched that whole game. They're fine. They're not anything special. Are they the best team in the Mountain West? Yeah, probably. So it will be challenging for San Diego State to beat them twice, I would say. But who's to say that there isn't a scenario where, tiebreakers come into play and San Diego State, if this theory plays itself out, doesn't have an opportunity to maybe avoid Boise State. I mean, it seems more than likely that we would have a rematch situation because everyone else in the conference already has a conference loss. But look, I think the Aztecs are really impressive. I like the spot this weekend against Wyoming. Wyoming coming off a rivalry game, so they're going to probably be a little bit fat and happy after smashing Colorado State. I think we'll find out who this team really is more so the next 2 weeks. Hawaii's good. Hawaii is definitely better than preseason expectations. And then Boise State is still Boise State. So it's going to be a challenge down the stretch. And, don't forget New Mexico. What's that? Black Friday. That's going to be a challenging game as well. New Mexico is definitely a capable team. I think New Mexico beats UNLV this weekend, to be honest. I think UNLV is overrated. I don't think they can't stop a nosebleed defensively. Offensively, they're fine. I think they've been very fortunate with a couple of their wins. I think UNLV, to me, guys, yes, they're 6-1, but I think Boise State exposed them a bit. They were very fortunate to beat Wyoming. They got 2 block punts in that game. The Miami game was a complete farce. They should have lost that game as well. Sam Houston's probably the worst team outside of UMass in the FBS, and UCLA was in the UCLA mode. They were coached by Deshaun Foster at that time. So I don't think UNLV is anything to be worrisome about. I know San Diego State doesn't play them, but I think it's pretty clear cut, in my opinion. The 2 best teams in this conference are Boise and San Diego State, but I do think that next weekend will be a pretty significant challenge going out to the island and taking on Hawaii. You can come out if you want with us. We'll leave you a spot on the charter. Oh man, look, I know. I'll be honest right now, man. I'm all in on my bows, man. I know. Timmy Shank's my guy. Charter. I know. I was out there week 0, willing on the Mountain West to a big win over a P4 team right now. So I would say tugging at the heartstrings, but there's no heartstrings. I'll be cheering for Hawaii. Sorry.
Tim Murray, Vegas Sports and Information Network, with us right now on John and Jim. We can't have you without asking about the World Series.
Sure.
So what are the odds suggest here? Like, what are the series odds where we are right now? 2-2. We know it's heading back to Toronto. What are the series odds right now for LA and Toronto?
Yeah. So right now you're looking at the Dodgers still a pretty decent sized favorite, around minus, 190 or so. So look, the belief is they'll be the favorite probably in every single game moving forward. But, look, last night, I think everybody anticipated the Dodgers after winning the marathon was just going to come out. They'd have Shohei. They're going to get the win. And you got to give this Blue Jays team a ton of credit, right? They battled against Shohei. They hit the big 2-run homer off of him in the third. And then they did, as Padre fans know, they got to that bullpen. That bullpen is an Achilles heel. Blake Trinan is a gas can. Like, he can't get outs. So he comes in, he runs into trouble there. So you look at this situation tonight, and I hate saying this because it's not true, right? It's not a must-win for either team because the series doesn't end tonight. It really feels like the Dodgers have to win this game. I mean, going back to Toronto, down 3-2, and you're throwing Blake Snell tonight. So can you trust in Blake Snell? I think that's the big question. For me, guys, the fascination is the MVP market, because after the 18-inning affair and with Shohei starting Game 4, the betting market moved Shohei Ohtani to minus 400 to win World Series MVP. He's down to minus 160. So he's still the betting favorite, but it's not as overwhelming as maybe we thought it was going to be. And what's interesting is, Yamamoto's 16-1. The dude threw a complete game in Game 2. So, could we see Yamamoto throw another gem in Game 6, and then he kind of skyrockets up? So, yeah, curious to see what Shohei does tonight. But, yeah, the Dodgers are the favorite, but not as big as favorite as they were pre-series. I mean, before the series, you could have got the Blue Jays around plus 200, plus 220, and now the Blue Jays are in that plus 170 range. So there is belief that the Blue Jays certainly could win this series after last night's victory.
I mean, can you really give the World Series MVP to a guy with a 4.5 ERA and a loss under his belt? I mean, come on.
It's embarrassing.
Is it going to be awkward if when they lose in 6 and he gets the MVP trophy
in Toronto?
Yeah, exactly.
Tim, man, appreciate you doing it. Always enjoy hearing your perspective on things. I know San Diegans do as well, and hope to see you in Vegas at some point soon. When is that going to be? When am I in Vegas?
You guys tell me. I don't know.
I'm there in November, dude. I'm there for Players Era Festival.
Oh, there you go. Stop on by the studio. Don't worry. The Players Era just ruining college basketball. Much appreciated. Worst Maui field and worst Bahamas tournament I've seen ever.
Yeah, but best Players Era Festival ever.
That's true. It is a very good one. Hey, when Notre Dame could be a part of something and Rutgers, it's a great basketball tournament.
I'll see you next month. Tim, thanks for doing it, man.
All right, see you guys.
All right,
later,
Tim
man.
Murray with VSiN. All right, we're going to get back to the World Series on the other side. It is now tied at 2 games apiece. Magic Johnson even tweeting about it, saying Game 5 is a critical game now in this series with the tied at 2, which I thought was an interesting perspective.
We still know how it's going to end, though.
We'll get into it on the other side. Plus, coming up at 4:30, Darnay Trip, NBC 7. J.D. Wicker will join us at 5:15. San Diego State's athletic director. This is John and Jim. All right, John and Jim, we have Aztec homecoming tickets to give away. JD Wicker at 5:15, Darnay Trip at 4:30. But listen to this from Magic Johnson. You talk about something that was very compelling earlier today. This was fascinating when you put it this way. And this is the beauty of social media and the internet.
It really
you don't
is.
get before the internet, you didn't get this.
Like I was always wondering, like, hey, what does Magic Johnson think?
Right.
And now we get to know.
Also, had you ever thought about it, a game 5 of the World Series like this? Magic Johnson tweeted just a few hours ago, with the World Series being 2-2, game 5 is very important. Whichever team wins takes control of the series, exclamation point.
What?
So when he put it like that, I was like, wow, yeah, magic fact. That was so fascinating. When you look at it like that, that the winner of this series.
It makes me think about things differently.
Yeah, now I'm like, oh.
I didn't know that before. I was under the assumption that
didn't matter.
It didn't particularly matter who won game 5 if the series decided to.
Doesn't even matter.
But now, when I see what Magic Johnson said about it,
now you know.
Tonight's game's a big game for both teams.
ChatGPT said that the game 5 winner in a tied series wins 70 to 75% of the time the series.
Dude, those numbers are so weird because they had numbers on the broadcast for game 3, and they're like, winner of game 3 when the series is tied 1-1 goes on to win 75% of the time. It's just like
makes sense. Those swing whenever it's an odd number. Like, I feel like you get
swing
that leg up
when everything's tied. Yeah.
Especially the game 7 winner almost always wins the World Series. Like, if you win game 7, you're probably going to win the World Series.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if you just like looked at the coverage from last night's game, you wouldn't have known that the Blue Jays actually won game 4 against the Dodgers. You would have thought that the Dodgers they didn't play good baseball, and whoever they were playing, they beat them.
Maybe. I mean, I watched the inside. I thought it was
dude, the coverage.
The coverage being Joe Davis.
Well, Joe Davis, I mean, I'm talking about like from people that are actually covering the series. Like Tom Verducci, okay?
He's on the broadcast, right?
He's on the broadcast, and he, I guess, is putting out these videos for Sports Illustrated covering the World Series.
Okay.
So for you, John, what is the story coming out of last night's game?
Probably Shane Bieber.
Wrong. Guess again.
Ohtani just didn't have it.
Bing, ding, ding, ding.
Am I right?
Ohtani is human after all.
Well, what's Bieber, right?
There's no mention of Shane Bieber.
What about that rally? Think about the rallies the Blue Jays have had in the series. The 9-run inning yesterday.
Yeah.
I mean, Blue Jays offense has come to play.
When their offense puts up runs on the board, they're virtually impossible to beat. Now,
they scored 5 runs in a loss.
I know, but still, like it wasn't like their offense was great that game, and they took everybody out, and Springer got hurt. But
they led that game too, did they not?
They led
4-2.
They led 4-2, and then
they've been the equal. Even sometimes you say a series is tied 2-2, but one team has dominated the series because one team has 2 blowout wins and the other team has 2 close wins. The Blue Jays have certainly been the equal through 4 games.
Oh, absolutely. You wouldn't know it by the coverage.
But don't you agree? Like, I understand the Dodgers being the favorite, and I see these pitching matchups. There's no doubt Blake Snell at home should be a favorite, and Yoshinobu Yamamoto is terrific, and Shohei Ohtani is fully capable. But I'm just saying that the Blue Jays have been the equal to this point, and because of that offense, I mean, it's going back to Toronto. I hope it goes 7 games. And at this point, there's a very good chance it goes 7 games.
I can see the Blue Jays winning this thing, and the storyline is
Ohtani didn't have it.
Dodgers didn't lose the series. They just didn't win it.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly right. Right. What did they say about Ohtani when, like, remember against the Cardinals when he lost the game, but they actually won?
Yeah, I forget.
Same thing.
It's the exact same thing.
Ohtani yesterday, by the way, was pitched to. He was 0 for 3.
Yep. He did not.
Game.
Yeah, he did not have a good game. All I heard was he's tired. You don't think the Blue Jays are tired too?
They did the same travel.
Yeah, and they played 18 innings as well the night before.
Yeah.
So I don't want to hear any of this crap.
And they had to get to Los Angeles too.
About the Dodgers being tired after a marathon game 3. You know who also was tired after a marathon game 3? The Blue Jays.
The team that should have been run over based on everyone's thought process was Toronto. To lose a heartbreaking 7-hour game on the road.
Yeah.
The team that should be, laying over or like lying down is the Blue Jays in that scenario.
Shane Bieber pitched the game of his life last night. You wouldn't know it because no one's talking about it. And the Blue Jays coming back after such a gut punch of a loss in game 3 to go out and win in the fashion they won last night. Vladimir Guerrero Jr. lighting up Ohtani. Blue Jays finally getting to the Dodgers bullpen. They did in game 1 as well when they scored 11 runs.
Yeah.
But after game 3, it was like, oh, here we go again, the Dodgers bullpen.
Right.
And that is one of the more impressive wins that I think you'll ever see coming off of the absolute gut punching game 3. Because we both said it. I think everybody felt it too. After the Blue Jays lost game 3, like that thing it's over.
I mean, I didn't say it as strongly as you have.
I have.
You said if the Blue Jays were up 4-0, you wouldn't be sold on their.
When they're up 6-1, I was like, okay, 6-1 in the ninth. And
I mean, obviously, the series obviously isn't over. The reason being, you'd still have to go to Toronto for 2 games, even if they lose game 5. Look at what Seattle just did. Seattle led a series 3-2, went to Toronto, didn't live to see the World Series. So, I mean, I think the Blue Jays have a very good chance of forcing a 7th game at this point, a very good chance.
I still think the Dodgers are going to win this thing, unfortunately. With Snell, I don't think Snell's going to have the same performance he had in game 1. And then Yamamoto is on an absolute heater right now.
He is.
So,
well, I still got to do it. I mean, I think we would have set off game 3 that Ohtani pitching at home, like we just said. I mean, they were a heavy favorite, heavier yesterday than they are today.
Yeah,
and they lost.
I just want to see the collective baseball media that gets on their knees for the Dodgers and Ohtani, how they'll operate if the Dodgers lose this series. Like I find it to be fascinating.
They'll say it's good for the game because now it's going to be like beneficial to prevent a work stoppage. Look, teams that aren't the Dodgers can win a World Series, and this is why baseball is different than other sports. That any team can win in a long series, right? That's what they're going to say. They're going to say it's good for the sport that the Toronto Blue Jays, who hadn't won a World Series in over 30 years, just won a World Series. That's what they're going to say.
I hope so.
And they're going to, and by the way, you're saying the same thing that they're saying, which is the series is over. There's no chance. That's what you've been saying all along. You're saying the exact same thing that those people are saying.
Yes, John. I know.
Right. So what are you going to say?
What am I going to say?
Right.
I'm just laughing Dodger fans' faces.
Exactly.
That's exactly what I'm going to do.
Really to say.
And I'll say I was wrong, and I'm glad I'm wrong. And every Dodger fan will
Mike Farron
cry.
Point. I'll go back to the Mike Farron point, which is the best team against the worst team. The worst team still has a decent chance in any 3-game series, and the Dodgers have lost 3-game series to Pittsburgh Pirates in the last 10 years. Mm-hmm. That's just part of the sport.
I mean, we did talk about before the postseason started, the Dodgers bullpen was going to be their downfall.
Could still be.
Games 4 and 1, was their downfall. Their bullpen sucked, awful. So we'll see if their bullpen, continues to be their absolute weakness, or are they going to go out and pitch more closer to what they did in games 2 and 3?
The one thing we know, we'll see their bullpen tonight.
Well, they didn't pitch in game 2 because Yamamoto pitched a complete game.
But with Blake Snell, you're going to see the bullpen. Yeah, now he's been working deeper into games.
He has, yeah.
But with Blake Snell, there's a very good chance you're going to see 3+ innings from a bullpen, because even 6 innings from Blake Snell means you're going to see 3+ innings from a bullpen.
Yeah.
That's the one thing with the way he pitches. Historically, he's not an 8-inning guy, obviously.
And if you looked at this World Series objectively, even though it's hard for me to do that, objectively, it's been a fantastic series so far.
Yeah, it has. It has been a good series.
Like a very intriguing series, absolutely.
Although there's only been one good game.
Yeah.
The other 3 have not been good games.
But I think just the baseball that's being played.
Yeah. Yeah.
Even though a couple of games have been lopsided, I still think it's good baseball.
Yeah, it's been a good series.
And it's intriguing.
I'd be disappointed if it didn't go 7 games at this point, because I think it's been evenly matched. All right, we'll kick off hour 3 again with the Padres managerial search. Darnay Tripp is going to join us coming up at 4:30 from NBC7. JD Wicker is on the show at 5:15. San Diego State's athletic director. Plus, we're giving away homecoming tickets for Saturday at Snapdragon Stadium for the Aztecs. This is John and Jim.
All right, this update is brought to you by eBay. Game 5 of the World Series tonight, 5 p.m. at Dodger Stadium. Series is tied at 2 games apiece. Trey Servage on the mound for the Blue Jays against Blake Snell for the Dodgers. Moving over to the Padres. News today, Kevin Acee reporting that the Padres are narrowing down their list for their next manager. The finalists that he's reported on are Nick Hundley, Ruben Niebla, and Albert Pujols. And tonight at 6 p.m., we have SDFC Midweek Live. Darren and Adrian get you ready for Game 2 between SDFC and Portland on Saturday night. And also recap Game 1 as SDFC won on Sunday here at Snapdragon Stadium. Swapping out your tires, there's nothing like it. With eBay, you find the feel you're looking for, from smooth highway rides to grip for rough terrain. Get all the tires you need at prices you'll love. eBay, things people love.
Getting you all set for that drive home. Let's just start the show. Here's John and Jim.
All right, San Diego and Southern California, what's going on? This is hour 2 of John and Jim here until 6 p.m. We have Darnay Tripp swinging by from NBC 7 at 4:30. Aztecs Athletic Director J.D. Wicker will join us at 5:15. We also have Aztec tickets for Saturday to give away. A huge game at Snapdragon Stadium. The Aztecs and the Wyoming Cowboys for homecoming. We'll give those away in the 4 o'clock hour. Now, Jim led us down a path of, if you like Inside the NBA, you're not going to see it for like 3 months. Because they had it opening night and then the second night of the season. And then you told us we wouldn't have it again until like Christmas. But they're on again
Merry
tonight.
Christmas. Yay.
So they've actually been on every game that ESPN has had, the national games so far this year.
I could have sworn that.
Yeah, I remember it too. You read some release and we were like, wait, what is the deal here?
Maybe they decided that
It's too good.
It was too good. And the fact that their coverage sucks so bad, other than Inside, and that NBC is running circles around them now with Amazon Prime as well. We need to have Inside the NBA on as much as possible.
Do you think Stephen A. Smith is somewhere with like a Mai Tai, like with his legs kicked up? Where is Malik Andrews?
I don't care.
Where is Bob Myers?
Bob Myers does not work at ESPN anymore.
But you wouldn't know because we haven't seen him.
Good.
We haven't seen Stephen A.
I don't want to see him.
Right?
It's so refreshing to watch the coverage of the NBA for the last 2 weeks from the start of the season and not be yelled at by Stephen A. and Kendrick Perkins and whoever the hell else they have on that broadcast.
What are these people doing? I mean, they're just taking the year off. They're still getting paid.
Well, I mean, Stephen A. Smith still does First Take.
I haven't seen Kendrick Perkins. I haven't seen Malik Andrews.
I think they do some NBA show.
Do they? Okay.
During the afternoon on ESPN that nobody watches.
Right. Exactly.
But I know you've watched a lot of the NBC broadcast. Have you watched any of the Prime?
No. It was on Friday, right? And I was away and I didn't have Prime on my phone. I have it at home. I could have figured it out.
Their studio is insane.
It looked awesome. They're like moving, like all the video animation.
Yeah.
I saw on social media.
You had Dirk Nowitzki. You had Steve Nash.
Yeah, I saw the open.
Who else did you have on there? I'm drawing a blank.
Yeah.
They had 2 other guys on there. I'm drawing a blank, but Blake Griffin was on there.
Mm-hmm.
I think Tracy McGrady? No. I forget. Anyway, the Prime broadcast and then the NBC broadcast, dude, it's running circles around ESPN without Inside. If Inside's not on ESPN doing their pre-post half, right, ESPN doesn't stand a chance.
Well, okay. I do like the NBC game broadcast. I think it's excellent.
You have a problem with
the pre-half and post is nothing to write home about. Like, there's no way you watch it like, man, that was good.
I think because we've seen so much of awful product with ESPN, that just anything else is better.
Like, oh, it's good.
Like, oh, this is great.
Maybe. I mean, NBC certainly has good production value. Plus the cameras they use. I don't know what they're using, but they're running circles around anything ESPN uses.
Dude, before tip-off of Clippers Warriors last night, did you see this?
No, I started watching half
because I saw this on social media because Bucks Knicks played at 5, 4, whatever the game time was, and they took what they do for Sunday Night Football and incorporated it into their NBC NBA broadcast, which is the starters announced like Kawhi Leonard, San Diego State.
Is that right?
Yeah.
That's super cool. I didn't realize that.
And they show the pregame introductions. They show the home team introductions. They show like the video board with
that's cool.
They show all that stuff.
Yeah, that's good.
And
I like that.
You know, it makes the broadcast feel so much like bigger. And they have Bob Costas doing these like little vignettes before the game starts with like, the Clippers are seeking their first NBA championship. Meanwhile, the Warriors are looking to get back to the promised lands.
Right.
And they're like Warriors, Clippers next on NBC. And then it's like Round Ball Rock comes on and is like, tonight it's the Golden State Warriors against the Los Angeles Clippers. And then they show the warm-ups and it's just the production of it. It runs circles around whatever the hell ESPN had for the last decade plus. It's just such a refreshing sight to see.
I will say this. I'm sure the NBA is thrilled with the amount of attention and coverage that they have gotten here to start the year, because nobody was talking about the NBA a year ago. That was actually a big talking point, that the ratings were horrific and there was no interest in October. And why would you watch? The season is so long. Every team makes the postseason. It's been the complete opposite this year. There's been, new TV partners, first of all. Secondly, I just feel like people are rejuvenated with the league in general. Maybe not this betting scandal, but outside of the betting scandal, I think the NBA has had, their ratings have been way up, obviously, this year compared to where they were a year ago.
So the NBA released this about 40 minutes ago. Nearly 37 million people in the U.S. watched American Express NBA Tip-Off 2025 across NBC and Peacock, ESPN, and Amazon Prime Video. The most viewers for an opening week in 15 years.
There it is. There's my point. Yeah. So people are, the NBA should be thrilled.
Also, NBA 2025-2026 opening night. Average amount of viewers on NBC and Peacock, 5.61 million. Next closest was 2024 Christmas on ABC, drew 5.2. And then opening night 2024-2025 on TNT did 2.95 million.
Right. So, I mean, the ratings are, compare this. Game 3, this epic game of the World Series. Remember Game 3? 11 million viewers.
Yeah.
11 million for Game 3 of the World Series. NBA opening night is doing like 60% of that.
Yeah. On opening night when the games don't really matter.
Doesn't matter. Right? I've been interested, but you have to be honest. Like even last night, I'm watching the Clippers and the Warriors, and they're already talking about seeding. They're like, if the Warriors could lock down like a home series in the quarterfinal, like they've played 4 games. Like all that matters, obviously, everyone's just waiting for the postseason.
Yeah,
I guess
it just shows that I think the games aren't just enough. Like you have to have more than that to have eyeballs on it. Now it helps that the games were good.
Yeah,
and it also helps that the teams are actually playing hard and the players are playing hard.
Yeah, definitely.
We'll see how it goes the rest of the year, but I just think it's been a complete refresh for the NBA. Massive upgrade from the crap that they had on ESPN. We'll still get that crap later on this season, but the NBC broadcast, having insight on ESPN, and then Prime, as I'm choking.
Well, certainly nobody misses TNT. There was a lot of talk. All they missed was inside the NBA.
That's it.
Nobody's missing TNT. You might get sentimental, but they had the NBA for 30 years. They did. Well, people have moved on.
Dude, it's the same. If ESPN didn't have their logo everywhere, I wouldn't know this is on ESPN.
No, of course you wouldn't, because it's the exact same production set.
Yeah.
It's in Atlanta.
I know.
It's not even.
And that was the whole thing. They're buying ESPN. They're buying the inside show to air it on their station.
It's worked out. Honestly, that was a brilliant decision.
Brilliant.
By ESPN. All right, let's go back to the phones here. 877-767-4760. And 877-767-4760. Eric wants to weigh in. And Eric, you're back with us on John and Jim.
Awesome, guys. Thanks again for the entertainment on the drive home.
Sure, man.
Always a pleasure listening to you guys. Another thing that's been a pleasure is watching this World Series, watching how the Toronto Blue Jays, obviously with no other choice but to lace them up, go out there and grind, if you will, or fight or play against the Dodgers, right? And I just kind of like that mindset where it's like, hey, all we hear is Dodgers are going to win, no matter who wins Game 3. If Toronto would have won Game 3, maybe they would have had a better chance, but they would have still lost the series. Like that kind of mindset in San Diego is like, it's got to go. It's like, yo, maybe that's why we haven't won anything around here. It's got to change. Where's the positivity? Where's the, hey, lace them up, fight until the end. And that's what I like seeing Toronto do. And hopefully the Padres can do the same thing.
Appreciate you, Eric. Yeah, Toronto's had a great year. It's been an amazing story. This is not every year in Toronto. Seattle had a great year, for example. Who knows what it's going to take for the Padres to have a run like that where you get back to a championship series or a World Series. I have no idea what it's going to take. Manager, player, moment. You hope to see it, but I don't know what it's going to take.
I don't know either. The core of this team, I can't speak.
No, you really can't.
The core of this team isn't changing.
Right.
And so those are the players that are going to have to lead the way. You can have the role players around them that come up big in big moments, but I mean, is that sustainable? It can be, but you need, like last night, Vladimir Guerrero Jr., 2-run homer. You need Shohei Ohtani, 2 home runs in game 3.
Yeah.
Freddie Freeman walk-off homer in the 18th inning.
Right.
You need your stars to step up. And that's been the biggest problem here in San Diego over the last 3 playoff runs is the Padres stars have gone MIA. Manny had a okay 2022 postseason, but by and large, once they got to the NLCS, disappeared.
Yeah, I mean, the fact that you could have a team now, again, in 2022, we'll never know they didn't have Toddy, which is potentially a factor. Now, is that the difference between beating the Phillies or losing in 5 games? Who will ever know? But I'm with you. I mean, the slug has severely lacked, and we have felt it the last. I mean, I wouldn't say the last.
They were fine last year.
That's what I was going to say. I wasn't going to say the last 3 or 4 years, but then again, they had. I mean, the pieces were similar. Not like Tatis moved teams, not like Machado moved teams, not like Merrill moved teams.
No,
it was Jurickson Profar was your big change,
and I'm drawing a blank.
And your catcher,
Kyle Gashioka.
Yeah, I mean,
who had 18 home runs for you.
But you know what I mean? So you didn't really have some wholesale change in your lineup. You didn't have Jurickson Profar.
No,
and
you had Fernando Tatis Jr. for a full year. Didn't go on the IL.
Didn't break his leg.
Yeah, didn't go
2025.
So.
Just kind of hard to figure out, truthfully.
It is. And you just watch the Dodgers and you watch the Blue Jays play and you're thinking, how can the Padres get close to, playing, having an offense that resembles what we're watching in the World Series? It just, I don't know. And the philosophy of this team offensively has got to change this offseason. It has to be much better next year. Because you're not bringing in Kyle Tucker, you're not bringing in Schwarber, you're not bringing in Pete Alonso. You're going to have essentially the same core next year. Can Jackson Merrill hit 25 bombs for you? Can Fernando Tatis Jr. finally have a good offensive season that is comparable to his 2021 year? Not saying that he has to have the exact numbers as 2021, but can he hit 30 plus bombs for you? Right. Manny, he's going to give you his numbers, whether, he's going to die on the hill trying to give these numbers to you. And then you got the role players, but all in all, the philosophy of this team offensively has to change.
And it will. I mean, you're going to have a completely new coaching staff. I would guess. Other than Ruben Niebla, you're going to have a completely new coaching staff in 2026. Back to the latest here in the Padres managerial search on the other side, plus Darnay Tripp. We'll have more at 4:30, plus J.D. Wicker, San Diego State's athletic director, will join us coming up at 5:15. John and Jim, San Diego Sports 760, live on the iHeartRadio app. All right, tonight at 6, right here on San Diego Sports 760 SDFC Midweek Live. You're going to hear from Mikey Vars, the head coach. Interviews with other players and coaches as well. Find out the latest as they get ready for Game 2 of their playoff series against Portland. SDFC Midweek Live tonight at 6 on your home for SDFC San Diego Sports 760. Remember Tyler Heaps yesterday? I thought it was a very good interview we did.
It was a great interview.
The one we did.
What was your favorite part of the interview?
Here's what I'm going to tell you. The part that I thought where I got maybe the most out of him.
Yeah.
Was when he said, honestly, the schedule is tricky. Because if you win it too, that's great. You're moving on. You have 21 days off. Now, you want to win in 2 as opposed to 3. You go to 3, like Magic Johnson would say, anything could happen.
Dude,
in Game 3.
Okay. Do you have the schedule in front of you?
Yeah.
When's the game scheduled if they beat Portland?
You said the weekend of the 22nd.
I said it, or did you? Or
no, you said it.
I thought it was that weekend.
You're such an idiot.
I couldn't find the actual schedule. You know why I'm asking? You know why I'm asking you?
Well, why? Because San Diego State plays that weekend?
Yeah.
Yeah, but they can play. How many days are in a weekend, Jim?
There's
3.
2.
Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
But if the game's already scheduled for that day.
It's not already scheduled for that day.
I just wanted to know. So
MLS Cup, I'm sure, is a day. You know what I mean? Like, I'm sure it's December X at X p.m.
My thing was, though, is you could have a situation where you have football one night, soccer the next night at Snapdragon.
You can ask JD at 5:15.
Okay.
We've seen that before, have we not? This year, there was not a weekend where we have football and soccer. JD Wicker made that clear to us. I want to say this offseason. There wasn't going to be a weekend where the Wave or SDFC were playing the same weekend as San Diego State. But once you get into the postseason, maybe all bets are off, would be the point. But what's so are you trying to say, yeah, I think it's the weekend of the 22nd.
Okay.
Yes, conference semifinals are TBD after November 18th.
Okay.
So it would be the weekend, whatever the weekend date there is, 21st, 22nd, 23rd. And they would be hosting that's a 1-game series.
It is.
And so is the next round. And so is the MLS Cup.
Single elimination.
But now, what's your theory there? You want to know how they'd navigate it?
Yeah. Like what would be first? Would it be soccer on Friday night and then San Diego State on a Saturday?
Right.
Or is it San Diego State Saturday, soccer on a Sunday night?
Well, I'll give you another one. Saturday, December 6th, MLS Cup. Mm-hmm. That's the site of what? The higher seed? Does anyone know the answer? It is.
The whole thing goes
Guess
through
what day is the Mountain West Championship game?
Oh, it must be nice.
At exact day. At exact day.
So,
and guess who's got an inside track right now to a Mountain West? I mean, they got a lot of work to do.
They have a lot of work to do.
They win their games.
They win their games, then it's here at Snapdragon.
Well, perfect.
Stadium.
You got the Mountain West title game at 3, and you got MLS Cup at 6. Boom.
Yeah, I'm sure that will work out well.
That's the question. It's not about the November 20 whatever weekend. They would just play.
Well, they would have to move, and I'm sure they have everything TBD here.
Actually, it's the Mountain West title game on a Friday night. Actually, that's the other question. 2025 Mountain West.
So it does look like the MLS Cup 12-6 is set.
Well, yeah, definitely
for November.
It's on a Friday.
6th.
It's on a Friday, I think. The Mountain West Championship.
The conference semis are all TBDs.
Why is the conference championship?
I don't know.
Yeah, Friday, December 5th. So there wouldn't be a conflict there either.
Again, back to back. Man,
I mean, has the playing surface been a point of conversation this year?
It hasn't, but have they had?
They've definitely had Wave and SDFC
Same weekend?
Yes. Yeah. How else could they do it?
I don't know.
There's not, the math wouldn't support the Wave never playing.
I don't know.
The Wave have definitely played games the same weekend as SDFC.
Questions. Why are you yelling at me?
No, I'm just saying. I think you're asking me these questions. I want you to ask JD Wicker these questions.
Okay.
Because I don't feel like, correct me if I'm wrong, the playing surface has been a topic of conversation this year.
No, I'm just saying how would you how do you navigate these schedules? And is it any bit of a concern if
I think it's the best thing that's possible for them.
It's the best thing that's possible, but I'm talking about playing surface. I'm talking about upkeep. I'm talking about making sure that playing
field.
It's a lot of work. Talking about that playing field being like the best playing field for both football and soccer.
I mean, I guess that's just the business that they're in, right? When you're in like a multi-use facility, like that's going to present itself. Like I'd rather have logistical challenges with grass than not playing grass. Because nobody plays on grass across college football these days, and grass is such a huge advantage to play on. So, like, I think you kind of deal with the logistical challenges that grass presents, because what MLS team wants to play on turf? You know, like turf is nowhere near as good as grass, in my opinion.
We have an update on the Padres managerial search, John.
Oh, do we?
We do.
I'm going to find it.
You're going to find it. Why don't, because I have it.
We'll share it on the other side.
And we'll share it with you on the other side. But it's an interesting.
Is it another
update.
name?
You'll have to find out.
All right. That's coming up on the other side at 4:30. Darnay Tripp is going to join the show. Jim has some hard questions for JD Wicker at 5:15. Stay with us on John and Jim.
All right, this update is brought to you by eBay. World Series Game 5 tonight, according to Magic Johnson. It's a crucial game. 5 p.m. first pitch at Dodger Stadium. The series tied at 2 games apiece as the Blue Jays beat the Dodgers last night 6-2. And tonight, right here on San Diego Sports 760 at 6 p.m., 6 to 7, we have SDFC Midweek Live. Darren and Adrian will recap game 1 between SDFC and Portland and preview game 2 on Saturday night. Swapping out your tires, there's nothing like it. With eBay, you find the feel you're looking for, from smooth highway rides to grip for rough terrain. Get all the tires you need at prices you'll love. eBay, things people love.
All right, so Jim's got some news for us. Oh, I forgot I wasn't listening. I was in 2. Now I'm in 1.
He's really excited to hear that news.
I want to hear what the news is, but after your news, I have news for you.
For me?
Yeah. So don't look at, you share your news and then I'll share mine.
All right. According to Boob Nightingale,
Okay.
which is really Bob, but I call him Boob. He tweeted out about 15 minutes ago, how serious are the San Diego Padres about hiring future Hall of Famer Albert Pujols as their next manager? His second interview with the Padres lasted 9.5 hours.
9.5 hours.
9.5 hours. That is some.
That's long.
That is
dude.
some serious stamina.
That's like a John and Jim.
How you doing?
That's John and Jim.
Could you do a 9.5 hour show with me?
We do every day, basically.
Kinda, yeah.
Like, seriously.
What the hell do you talk about for 9.5 hours?
I'm sure he met with like 19 people. I'm sure there was lunch in there and a good one. There's a nice 2 hours in there for lunch.
Preller's in the corner eating like a taco from Taco Bell, and then they have this whole thing catered like for Albert.
Does this change your opinion on him in terms of the pecking order? Like, does a 9.5 hour interview make him a leader in the clubhouse?
I mean, it certainly would tell me that he's a serious candidate. I can tell you that.
But we don't know if they met with Nick Hundley for 9.5 hours.
Yeah, I need to know. If you met with Nick Hundley for like 3 hours and you met with Ruben Niebla for like 4 hours, but you met with
9.5.
Albert for 9.5, come on.
How about this developing story? According to Talking Friars, this is developing as we speak.
Is he a reporter?
As we speak.
Talking Friars?
This is accurate reporting, and this is actual reporting from Talking Friars.
What did he
Albert Pujols is currently on MLB Network's pregame coverage. So he is reporting that if you turn on MLB Network, Albert Pujols is sitting there at Dodger Stadium.
I was going to say, what did he steal whatever he's reporting from?
So he is watching MLB Network, and Albert Pujols is back on set for Game 5 pregame coverage. So it sounds like he spent the whole day in San Diego.
There has to be a segment on the pregame coverage
About his day?
asking Albert Pujols about the Padres managerial job.
Nobody cares. Everyone not watching pregame cares about the World Series.
Nobody. Well, first off, no one's watching pregame other than Talking Friars. Ben.
True.
But how do you
Game
not?
5 of the World Series?
That's great.
You know what Magic Johnson said?
You can have 5 minutes of like, hey,
True,
so
since the game doesn't start for another 100 minutes.
whatever.
Maybe he's not allowed to talk about it until he's signed.
He could say,
Well, that's true too.
they could ask him like, what is his desire to be a manager in the big leagues?
I'm sure they probably have over this MLB Network pregame coverage over the days.
Hey, Benny boy, let's go.
Yeah,
get
I
to
need
work.
more.
I need
some
clips.
audio.
Cut some audio. Cut some
Yeah.
clips.
Like, what are you
because
doing?
we need that for our show.
9.5 hour interview.
What the hell do you talk about?
I'd be starving,
Well, he probably ate, John.
but I'd still be starving.
I can't. There's no, but the only person that I can be with for 9.5 hours straight is my wife. That's it. Other than
No,
that,
you've been with me 9.5 hours a million times.
have I?
Yes, wrap up show,
Oh, yeah.
9 hours.
I meant like in a room for
Yeah.
9.5 hours without
was
some
it-
type of break.
I'm assuming there were some breaks in there.
I need a break, dude.
9.5 hours, you're right. I mean, that's
That's
and
a
like, what
long
could
time.
you possibly be talking about? Even if you did meet with 6 different people.
You put it out there. Maybe they were talking about bunting
Bunting.
strategies.
Well, he's not a big bunter.
You think?
It hasn't really been his strategy.
My guess is Albert Pujols in his career bunted less than 5 times, if that.
It was less than something, and it might be 1.
Probably he's had he had to have
that's
at
a
least one
fascinating
bunt.
question.
I need to know how many bunts in Albert Pujols' career.
How many sacrifice bunts do you think in his career?
Sack bunts and just bunts in general.
I am fascinated by that, by the way, that question.
Where can you find that?
On Baseball Reference, sack hits. He had in his career, want to take a guess? Sack hits.
7.
Brent, how many sacrifice, not flies,
No, that's
sacrifice bunts?
Sacrifice bunts.
3.
3, 7. What about 1? And it was his first year in the big leagues.
Yes.
1 in 2001.
Yes.
When he hit 37 home runs.
That's my manager.
How crazy is that? 1 in his career, which makes sense. He had 700 home runs. But 9.5 hours.
9.5.
You think him and Preller are boys now?
Pause. I don't know.
Must be.
Dude.
I mean, just announce Pujols as manager.
Kudos to Albert for being in a room with AJ for 9.5 hours.
Are you tracking Pujols' plane tonight? Like, is he going to Toronto or is he staying?
I'm not
for
one
the
of
off
those
day.
people. I'm not going to track his plane.
You're not one of those people.
I'm not. No. I'm not going to track.
Well, first of all, he's not.
I don't even know how to
doesn't
do
even have
that.
a. Was he even at the first 2 games in Toronto?
I don't know.
I mean, I would assume if he's been on MLB Network's pregame coverage.
I mean, if anything, according to Dave Roberts, getting through customs
It's so hard.
is the hardest thing ever. Do you think Dave Roberts went home last night and he wasn't upset about the game, but he was upset most about having to go back to Toronto?
We can't
for
win in
Game 6?
5.
He's like, we have to go back through
He's
customs.
probably so mad. I want to know if the Padres introduce their manager tomorrow. That's by the end of the week. I mean, by the end of the week is pretty finite. Like the week's coming to an end. Who
And
wants to introduce a manager on a Sunday?
How do we define end of the week? Do we define end of the week as like
I kinda say
Friday, or do we define it as like Sunday?
I say who introduces a manager on a Sunday during like an NFL season?
How
Day after the World
how
Series.
do you define the week? Like is
7 days.
no, I know that. But I meant for when someone says end of the week,
End of the week sounds like the end of Friday.
like Friday, or is it Sunday? Because
I think Friday. I would think Friday.
yeah, by the end of the week.
Well, if you didn't do it tomorrow, there's no guarantee you're allowed to even do it Friday or Saturday because of the World Series. So the soonest you can do it is by the end of the week.
Yeah. Or it gets leaked and they don't announce it until like Sunday.
Oh, I would like it for it to be leaked.
Who's gonna
break
be the
this
first?
story?
Who's gonna be the first?
I think I must have muted Jeff Passan like 3 weeks. I've not seen anything from Jeff Passan for weeks.
He's put out some stuff, but
What did he have to say about Ohtani's game 3?
we're only got 7,000 word.
Like we've seen everything in our lifetime,
Page,
but
yeah.
like including Man on the Moon. But this,
He's like, I can't believe Shohei Ohtani. He's an alien. I don't even know what he said,
okay, that's why I muted him.
but
I think Passan breaks it.
it would be such a, like, if I'm looking at the reporting wars here in San Diego between all the beat writers, Kevin, Dennis, AJ, who else?
I mean, I haven't seen much from AJ or Dennis over the week.
I've only seen stuff from Kevin, and it would be it would all of a sudden out of nowhere, Dennis comes in and goes, Padres have hired this manager. After Kevin's been reporting on this for the last 2 weeks.
I know. Like you said, it's kind of like reporter wars.
Just lurking in the weeds.
Is it going to be Kenny Rosenthal with Dennis Lynn?
Maybe, I don't know. My guess is it's going to be Kevin.
Oh, AJ has not tweeted since October.
AJ,
3rd.
I like AJ a lot. He's not really like a inside
break news.
reporter.
Yeah,
I mean, he reports on things obviously, but he's not like breaking.
he broke something big.
He broke the Bob Melvin hire.
Yeah, it's big.
So that's huge.
Yeah, that was
it's massive.
big. But I wonder if he's in like Cancun with the team.
9.5
Tweeted
hours.
in weeks.
How the hell did like whoever
What's
was
the longest interview of your life?
I don't know, like an hour?
Have you interviewed anywhere?
Yeah, I've interviewed.
An
places.
hour?
Maybe like an hour and a half. I don't know. I never have experienced a 9.5 hour interview or sit down or with somebody.
Before I moved to San Diego, I interviewed all day with the Tampa Bay. You'll laugh at this. Do you know this story? I interviewed all day with the Tampa Bay Rays in Tampa to be their social media director.
No, you didn't.
Yes, I did.
Shut
In
up.
2017, I interviewed all day. I thought I got the job, and if I would have gotten the job, I would have taken it. So I was in Allentown with the Iron Pigs, and this opportunity presented itself.
Why you're gonna move to Florida or to?
At the time, this is 2017. This is St. Pete. I was like, I spent 15 years in the minors. I'm looking at other opportunities. Right, we're looking to move out west. I wanted to work in Major League Baseball. I was one of 2 people. Okay, I flew down.
How old were you?
37, 36. I'm 45 now. I was 36. Fly down, and I do this all day interview with different people, and I didn't get the job, thankfully. Otherwise, I'm doing Rays wrap up right now.
Wait, no. So
yes,
okay.
Director of social media for the Tampa Bay Rays.
You.
I would have been tweeting out game day lineup card. It would have been the easy. Yeah, me. I don't even do social media.
Like, you have to be creative.
I was the director of social media for the Iron Pigs.
I need to go back and look at the Iron Pigs.
It was like game day.
Did you make graphics?
I didn't intern. Do everything.
I can't imagine you being like the director of social media.
I could be like strategy guy.
You could be strategy guy,
but I can't be the.
But if someone tells you, "Hey, I need you to make this game day graphic. I need you to tweet out during the game," no shot.
No shot. No, I don't. Half the stuff they're doing. Kristen laughs at that. I'm like, how do I log into my Facebook? She's like, you were like the social media director. I'm like, I hate social media.
So you're gonna move to Florida?
But here's the feedback I got when I got a call. And he's like, hey, you didn't get the job.
Oh, you got feedback.
You coming down.
Give me, what do you got?
Thank you. You finished second.
Yeah.
You brought 2 people in.
You couldn't log into your computer, so we decided to go someone else.
So this is what he told me. He said, I had this line. It was such a dumb line. He said,
God.
At one point you told, I think I spoke with the CEO, whoever it was. I told you the CFO or I have no idea who it was.
Wow.
Go back.
They take their social media seriously there.
I said to the CFO or the CEO, I wouldn't consider myself to be an expert in social media because it's always evolving. So I don't think there's any experts.
So hire me.
You can't have a degree because it's always like evolving. So they didn't like that.
So yeah, duh. Hey, John.
Bad line.
Hey, it's an awful line. No wonder you didn't get the job. They're probably sitting there like, thank goodness we didn't hire this guy.
When I got hired here, Brian Long's like, do you want to be a sports talk host? I'm like, absolutely not.
They're like perfect.
That a lot.
You're perfect.
Exactly. But isn't that funny?
Oh my God. So why are you qualified to be the social media director? I go on social media on the toilet all the time, at least once a day.
Yeah. So they didn't like that.
So okay.
So there's another world where I'm doing like Ray's wrap up.
So let's just hold on. Let me just recap this. So you interviewed to be the social media director for the Tampa Bay Rays
in person.
But when you spoke to them after the fact, you said, yeah, I don't really like social media, or I'm not good with
an expert.
I'm not an expert with social media. And then when B-Long wanted to hire you here and asked you if you wanted to be a radio host, you're like, no chance, I don't want to be a radio host.
But he liked that because at the time he was hiring a producer.
So, when you want to get a job, you want to express that you have
always
interest.
Been an issue for me.
Yeah, I can tell.
So, things work out.
Like, I don't do this.
It all worked out.
Like, I'm not really good at this, but I really want this job.
There's another world where I'm calling like South Florida football, USF, and I'm doing Ray's social media right now in 2025. All right, at 4:30, Darnay Triple joined the show from NBC7 at 5:15. JD Wicker, San Diego State's athletic director. We have homecoming tickets to give away. Stay with us, John and Jim. All right, Tim Murray, VSiN. If you missed our conversation, you'll hear it at 4 p.m. Darnay Tripp will join us at 4:30. I'm sure he's thrilled to have the opportunity to join us.
He must hate us.
I think he legitimately hates us.
I texted you last night, and I said,
like, yo, start bothering Darnay.
I'm like, yo, let's bother Darnay.
We barely even did.
It wasn't.
I knew I'd piss him off so much this morning when I said, yo, you told us that they would have hired a manager by now, so now you have to join us.
Yeah, it wasn't last night. It wasn't like a, hey, we're going to text him 75 times. But we did say, hey, you're joining the show tomorrow. And then this morning at 9:50 a.m., you're just blasting him with like,
oh, yeah. Can you do these times you owe us since you said the Padres would announce their new manager last weekend? He said, I never said they would, so no. And then we basically like forced him to do it, right?
Yeah. And then he agreed. And I said, yay, bullying works.
Exactly. So Darnay's going to join us at 4:30. Who do you think he prefers? Niebla, Hundley, Pujols? Isn't that a good question with Darnay? I'm not certain it's Pujols. I can see him saying Niebla.
Let's put a poll out.
Who does Darnay Tripp?
No. Who do you want to be the next manager?
Yes, do it from John and Jim, but aren't you convinced people will just go with the name?
Maybe.
My guess is it's Pujols with Niebla second, Hundley third, because it's a beauty contest. Everyone knows Niebla, everyone really knows Pujols, and not everyone knows Nick Hundley. So my guess is it finishes Pujols, Niebla, Hundley.
I think people know Nick Hundley because
but in that conversation,
I do think our Pujols is the flashy name. But I do think people view Ruben Niebla as a guy that like the organization can't afford to lose just because of how much he's done for this pitching staff. So I don't think it's as clear cut for the fans. I really don't. But I do think that a majority would choose Albert Pujols.
Do 2 hours on it so we can see the results. I say 51% Pujols, 31% Niebla, 18% Hundley. Okay. 51, 31, 18.
I'll put a fourth option, me.
No. You can put mystery candidate. You could do
no. I'm just gonna do.
Okay.
Hold on. Poll length.
Yeah, poll length. 9.5 hours.
9.5 inches. Pause.
Hours, you idiot.
I know. 2 hours. Here we go.
Yeah. From John and Jim?
No, from Jim Russell.
Oh.
Better reach.
I'm not subscribing to that. Better reach with Dodger fans.
Yeah. Dude, there are some obsessed Dodger fans out there. It's crazy. Anything I tweet, it's like, you're more on FU. I'm like, okay. Okay. So who do you want the Padres to hire? Albert Pujols, Ruben Niebla, or Nick Hundley? Boom. 2 hours.
Okay, I'm gonna fill that out right now. I'll retweet it even. Okay. And I'm gonna fill it out with Pujols. Because my dream scenario is Pujols with Niebla staying. I think you accomplished the best of both worlds. Niebla's been good with the staff for years now, and Pujols is the intriguing name.
And as we've said, Niebla is under contract, so he would presumably have to be asked out of. Like, he'd have to ask out of his contract or just like leave.
Right. Exactly. Yeah, I don't know how that would work.
I don't know how it would work either.
Like, if you're Niebla, are you going to put your foot down if they hired Pujols? Or if you're Pujols, though, would he put his foot down for his guy?
I like Ruben Niebla, but there's no foot putting of down from Ruben. Like, he's not going to be like, I have to be the manager.
No, I mean, I feel like he's got a good opportunity as it is. Right?
Oh, I think he does.
Multi-year deals, a pitching coach.
And then the question remains of like, if they go somewhere else, if they went Hundley or Pujols, does Niebla still stay, even though he interviewed to be the manager? Because if I'm interviewing for a job to be the boss, and then they choose someone else, but then they want me to stay to work for that boss.
You're talking about Niebla?
Yeah.
I still think there's a good chance he stays. Because you still need another opportunity. You're saying, I guess he could have, I don't know if it's pick of the litter. I'm sure he could get another pitching coach job. But this is a pretty good job, is it not?
Early returns, John. 60% have for Albert Pujols, 33% for Ruben Niebla, 7% for Nick Hundley.
And that's going to be the long-term results too.
Probably, you're right.
Go Pujols, Niebla, Hundley is my guess. We'll see. Don't want to influence the vote. I don't want to influence the vote.
Influencing the vote.
But you can find Jim right now on X at Jim Russell SD. It's a fascinating follow. At Jim Russell SD on X.
Fascinating in what way?
Yeah, you have good content.
The Joe Davis tweet really blew up last night.
I haven't seen. Did you? I maybe have you muted.
You probably do have me muted.
That's why I never see any of your styles.
Either I'm muted or I'm blocked from you.
No. What'd you say about Joe Davis?
It is someone actually on social media put together a montage of Joe Davis calling home runs in the World Series and compared it to the Dodger home runs and the Blue Jays home runs.
That's fascinating. Oh, when you said Joe Davis calling this home run off Ohtani, and it was like, what is this?
It was Vlad Guerrero Jr.'s homer.
Yeah, but what is this meme or whatever?
Oh, that means like you're pretending to be happy, but you're really like
pissed,
raged, and pissed off.
That's funny.
But someone, I gotta find it. Someone put together a mashup of all of Joe Davis' home run calls in the World Series, and I'm sorry, like it's not even close. His voice inflection when the Dodgers hit a home run compared to when the Blue Jays hit a home run, dude, it's not even close.
This is so funny. The first reply that I see is, how do you call yourself a journalist? And you said, I don't, because I'm not a journalist.
Yeah.
And he says, that's for damn sure. Oh, and then, okay. Interesting. Yeah. Who thinks you're a journalist?
I'm not. I don't
In
pretend
order to be a journalist, you need to know how to write.
Yeah, and read.
A journalist?
Come on.
Why would anyone think that being a sports talk host means you're a journalist?
You're not a journalist. I'm a sports talk host that gives my opinions.
Yeah. That's so funny.
Yeah, there's the comment section. There is some guy the other day.
Oh, you are such a bleeping idiot.
Yeah,
said.
Yeah.
Eat a bleep.
Yep.
It's funny because I'll every once in a while tweet about the Dodgers. I said something the other day that was like critical of the Dodgers, and I don't get these people going crazy.
I'm in their algorithm.
Definitely.
Anything I tweet. Someone today.
It's the check mark. The check mark gives you different like algorithm.
Probably. But someone tweeted something today at me. That was pretty funny. Where is it? This loser. Oh yeah, he's a Dodger fan. And I quote tweeted the Magic Johnson tweet, and I was joking. Can anyone confirm this?
Right.
And he replied about 40 minutes ago. I don't even know how to say his name. Who cares? Said Jim Russell comments about baseball makes it seem like he's a casual fan or of a fan whose team isn't in the playoffs much.
Oh, he got you.
Wow.
He got you bad.
Damn, dude, you got me, bro.
He got you bad.
You got me good.
I'll be shivering tonight.
Damn, you got me, bro.
Good.
Got me, bro.
Life of Jim Russell on X. All right. If you missed our conversation with Tim Murray, VSiN on the World Series, plus on San Diego State's path to a college football playoff, you're going to hear from Tim Murray coming up. On the other side, Dan Darnay Tripp, friend of the show, he will join us coming up at 4:30. Now, also in the 4 o'clock hour, we are giving away a pair of tickets to this Saturday's Aztec game at Snapdragon Stadium against the University of Wyoming. It is homecoming. We have a pair of tickets we'll give away in the 4 o'clock hour. If you want to go and you don't win the tickets, just go to goaztecs.com. And then at 5:15, San Diego State's athletic director, J.D. Wicker, will join the show. So we're here until 6 p.m., hour 3. Coming your way next on John and Jim, San Diego Sports 760, and live on the iHeartRadio app.
All right, this update's brought to you by eBay. Game 5 of the World Series, about an hour away from first pitch at Dodger Stadium. Series is tied at 2 games apiece. Blake Snell on the mound for the Dodgers against Trey Yasevich for the Blue Jays. And tonight, 6 p.m., SDFC Midweek Live with Darren and Adrian recapping SDFC's Game 1 win over Portland, looking ahead to Game 2, which will be on Saturday night. Swapping out your tires, there's nothing like it. With eBay, you find the feel you're looking for, from smooth highway rides to grip for rough terrain. Get all the tires you need at prices you'll love. eBay, things people love.
Getting you all set for that drive home. Let's just start the show. Here's John and Jim.
All right, San Diego and Southern California, what's going on? This is hour 3 of John and Jim, and we will be joined by Darnay Tripp from NBC7 coming up in 30 minutes. But if you missed our conversation earlier with Tim Murray from VSiN, Vegas Sports and Information Network, we had him on. Great voice on college football, also on the World Series. We started the conversation asking, what is it going to take for the Aztecs, assuming they're able to win out, which is asking a lot, but what would it take for the Aztecs to reach the college football playoff?
Yeah, it's a fascinating discussion, and obviously winning out is the number one determinant here. And a home game against Boise State, on the road at Hawaii, those will be challenging. Right now, if I had to guess, probably about a touchdown home underdog to Boise State in 2 weeks. Certainly would be an intriguing spot there for me as a bettor to look at the home dog. But going out to the island, Timmy Chang, since taking over as the head coach of the Rainbow Warriors, has the best cover spread of any team in college football at home. So that's going to be a challenge next week, no doubt, when they go out there, and Hawaii has exceeded expectations. But, to answer your question, what would it take? Look, got to start with winning out and winning the conference, which means 2 wins over Boise State, which is going to be a challenge, right? So you start there, and then you're going to kind of need the AAC to cannibalize itself. And I think that's certainly possible. I mean, you look at that conference, and you saw Memphis lose to UAB as a 23.5-point favorite. So they've got a pretty ugly loss on their ledger. Then they beat USF. Memphis still has Tulane next week and Navy on Thanksgiving. So that's not an easy stretch. And you got to keep in mind, as everyone probably knows, but it's worth repeating, in order to make the college football playoff as a G5 auto bid, you got to win your conference. So I look at the American, and when you look at those odds, John, that you referred to that I tweeted out, this is a conference that, in my opinion, is the best G5 conference. And I don't really think that's up for much debate. I think the top portion of that conference versus the Mountain West versus the Sun Belt, the CUSA is just a disaster. The MAC also similarly a disaster. So you're really looking at 3 conferences that are vying for this G5 bid. So when I think about the American, you've got Memphis, you've got South Florida, you've got Tulane, you've got North Texas. Navy, let's be real, Navy's not going to pull this thing off. I mean, Navy's undefeated right now. Look at their schedule. They're a 6-point underdog at North Texas. They'll probably be about a 3-touchdown underdog at Notre Dame next week. And then they have South Florida, they've got Memphis, and then they'd have to win the American. I mean, that is just a ruthless run there for Navy. So I actually think 10-1 is probably too short, to be honest, for Navy. So I think Old Dominion probably shouldn't even actually, I'm looking at the wrong one. Okay, they have jumped off. So when you're looking at the American, I think you just look at it beating up itself, and then that opens the door for the possibility of San Diego State if they run the table. The last wrinkle would be James Madison. And what would the committee do in a scenario where, let's say, the American champion is, I don't know, North Texas with 2 or 3 losses? Would they look at a 12-1 James Madison or a 12-1 San Diego State? I think they would actually look at a 12-1 San Diego State with 2 wins over Boise, a win over a bowl-eligible Hawaii, a solid win down the stretch, because you're talking about what they would need to do. I mean, New Mexico's a decent football program that they would beat. Where does Cal finish up? That's a Power 4 win that they have under their ledger. So I actually think if San Diego State were to pull off the improbable, guys, and run the table, if the AAC kind of beats up itself, I actually think San Diego State at 22-1 would have a better chance than James Madison at 12-1, because James Madison's resume would be rather lackluster heading into the committee's decision.
What have you made of San Diego State's year so far? Has anything they've done like surprised you, jumped off the page? Like what's your impression of them so far this year?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, outside of the weird blip against Washington State, I mean, look, full disclosure, I bet against them when they went to DeKalb, and I watched every excruciating second of the worst football game maybe ever played.
What are you talking about?
In the history of college football? I don't know. I don't know if that's hyperbolic. If it's the history of college football this year, got to be a top 5 worst game of the decade. Like, that game was just horrifying.
It was one of John's best calls of the season.
Yeah, walk off.
Yeah. So I did have him in that one. But look, I mean, all kidding aside, and John, you tweeted this, like 5 of their 6 wins are by double digits. Like, that's really impressive. And, talking with a couple of my buddies who are, professional gamblers, my buddy Brad Powers puts out a newsletter every week, and on it, he has his power ratings and his updated power ratings. San Diego State is only behind Indiana and New Mexico in his biggest gains from where he had them rated preseason to where they are now. So he's upgraded them almost 10 points. He's upgraded them 9.5 points in his power ratings. And that's only behind Indiana, who he upgraded 10.5, and New Mexico 10. Like, that's telling you something. And, I didn't know what to, when we talked at, media day, I didn't know what to expect from this team, but they're really strong defensively, as you guys know. And, I think this team, I'll say this about Boise State. Boise State is good. They're not great. This isn't a vintage Boise State team. They don't have Ashton Genty. They went to South Bend. I'm a big Notre Dame fan. I watched that whole game. They're fine. They're not anything special. Are they the best team in the Mountain West? Yeah, probably. So it will be challenging for San Diego State to beat them twice, I would say. But who's to say that there isn't a scenario where, tiebreakers come into play and San Diego State, if this theory plays itself out, doesn't have an opportunity to maybe avoid Boise State. I mean, it seems more than likely that we would have a rematch situation because everyone else in the conference already has a conference loss. But look, I think the Aztecs are really impressive. I like the spot this weekend against Wyoming. Wyoming coming off a rivalry game, so they're going to probably be a little bit fat and happy after smashing Colorado State. I think we'll find out who this team really is more so the next 2 weeks. Hawaii's good. Hawaii is definitely better than preseason expectations. And then Boise State is still Boise State. So it's going to be a challenge down the stretch. And, don't forget New Mexico. What's that? Black Friday. That's going to be a challenging game as well. New Mexico is definitely a capable team. I think New Mexico beats UNLV this weekend, to be honest. I think UNLV is overrated. I don't think they can't stop a nosebleed defensively. Offensively, they're fine. I think they've been very fortunate with a couple of their wins. I think UNLV, to me, guys, yes, they're 6-1, but I think Boise State exposed them a bit. They were very fortunate to beat Wyoming. They got 2 block punts in that game. The Miami game was a complete farce. They should have lost that game as well. Sam Houston's probably the worst team outside of UMass in the FBS, and UCLA was in the UCLA mode. They were coached by Deshaun Foster at that time. So I don't think UNLV is anything to be worrisome about. I know San Diego State doesn't play them, but I think it's pretty clear cut, in my opinion. The 2 best teams in this conference are Boise and San Diego State. But I do think that next weekend will be a pretty significant challenge going out to the island and taking on Hawaii.
You can come out if you want with us. We'll leave you a spot on the charter.
Oh man, look,
I know.
I'll be honest right now, man. I'm all in on my bows, man.
I know.
Timmy Shank's my guy.
Charter. I know.
I was out there week 0, willing on the Mountain West to a big win over a P4 team right now. So I would say tugging at the heartstrings, but there's no heartstrings. I'll be cheering for Hawaii. Sorry.
Tim Murray, Vegas Sports and Information Network, with us right now on John and Jim. We can't have you without asking about the World Series.
Sure.
So what are the odds suggest here? Like, what are the series odds where we are right now? 2-2. We know it's heading back to Toronto. What are the series odds right now for LA and Toronto?
Yeah. So right now you're looking at the Dodgers still a pretty decent sized favorite, around minus, 190 or so. So look, the belief is they'll be the favorite probably in every single game moving forward. But, look, last night, I think everybody anticipated the Dodgers after winning the marathon was just going to come out. They'd have Shohei. They're going to get the win. And you got to give this Blue Jays team a ton of credit, right? They battled against Shohei. They hit the big 2-run homer off of him in the third. And then they did, as Padre fans know, they got to that bullpen. That bullpen is an Achilles heel. Blake Trinan is a gas can. Like, he can't get outs. So he comes in, he runs into trouble there. So you look at this situation tonight, and I hate saying this because it's not true, right? It's not a must win for either team because the series doesn't end tonight. It really feels like the Dodgers have to win this game. I mean, going back to Toronto down 3-2, and you're throwing Blake Snell tonight. So can you trust in Blake Snell? I think that's the big question. For me, guys, the fascination is the MVP market, because after the 18-inning affair and with Shohei starting game 4, the betting market moved Shohei Ohtani to minus 400 to win World Series MVP. He's down to minus 160. So he's still the betting favorite, but it's not as overwhelming as maybe we thought it was going to be. And what's interesting is, Yamamoto's 16-1. The dude threw a complete game in game 2. So, could we see Yamamoto throw another gem in game 6, and then he kind of skyrockets up? So, yeah, curious to see what Shohei does tonight. But yeah, the Dodgers are the favorite, but not as big as favorite as they were pre-series. I mean, before the series, you could have got the Blue Jays around plus 200, plus 220, and now the Blue Jays are in that plus 170 range. So there is belief that the Blue Jays certainly could win this series after last night's victory.
I mean, can you really give the World Series MVP to a guy with a 4.5 ERA and a loss under his belt? I mean, come on.
It's embarrassing.
Is it going to be awkward if when they lose in 6 and he gets the MVP trophy
in Toronto?
Yeah, exactly.
Tim, man, appreciate you doing it. Always enjoy hearing your perspective on things. I know San Diegans do as well, and hope to see you in Vegas at some point soon. When is that going to be? When am I in Vegas?
You guys tell me.
I'm there in November, dude. I'm there for Players Era Festival.
Oh, there you go. Stop on by the studio. Don't worry. The Players Era just ruining college basketball. Much appreciated. Worst Maui field and worst Bahamas tournament I've seen ever.
Yeah, but best Players Era Festival ever.
That's true. It is a very good one. Hey, when Notre Dame.
Okay.
We lost Tim.
Tim.
Okay,
Where'd you go?
That was our conversation from earlier with Tim Murray, Vegas Sports Information Network. For whatever reason, Jim is shrinking. He's got this chair, and the chairs that have the levers on the side that go up or down. Every time he sits in it, the chair goes down. There's got to ChatGPT that, dude. Seriously.
Wait,
Did he gain weight?
Got to fix a chair?
Did he gain weight?
I did not gain weight, Brent.
Is this from the pizza?
No, it's not from the pizza that I ate. It's the stupid chair in the stupid. I don't know. I mean, I have an idea. Can we get some updated chairs in this building? It's only been 15 years since this place had new chairs.
Let me see that chair. Is that chair of any fraying, or is it brand new?
The whole thing is awful. Want me to rate this chair out of 10? 0.
Oh my God.
0 out of 10 chair.
On the other side,
don't sit in it.
An update to Jim's poll.
What?
About the managerial search. We have that for you on the other side. Plus Tornado Trip at 4:30. Shady Wicker at 5:15. It's not even the loopy hour. It's not even the 5 o'clock hour. Don't go anywhere, John and Jim. All right.
Here we
Jim.
go. There we go.
Okay, because I'm being serious here because you guys both had this. The Monster Munchie meal from Jack in the Box.
You got it too.
No, I know, but I was nice enough to offer my Munchie box to Brent. Seriously, the Monster Munchie meal.
Okay.
This Halloween, they've gone full monster mode.
You didn't want it.
No, that's not. Oh, I'm a vegetarian.
True. You can't have chicken nuggets and tacos.
That's what I'm saying. I absolutely want it. I just can't
You got
eat it.
fries.
But hear me out. Listen to the Monster Munchie meal and tell me if you guys enjoyed it. A combo of Jack's most iconic bites, monster sized, plus a limited edition color changing. Wait, the cup is color changing?
Like if I put water in it?
Let's do that. Go get water.
Oh, I didn't get
you
a
have
cup.
Okay, I'll give it to you if you want it.
Too bad, Brent.
Yeah, that is color changing.
It's,
That's a color changing cup.
it turns purple.
Here, pour some water in here. I want to see it happen. Oh my gosh, that's amazing. That is incredible. So you get the cup.
There we go. Ooh.
All right, so you're getting this color change. Look at the cup actually changed colors, dude.
It
The cup
does.
changes colors. Like those Matchbox cars back in the day, you put them underwater
Yeah,
and they
I
would
used to have
change
tons
colors.
of those.
That's really
Purple.
cool. That's really
Wow.
cool. So here's what you get. You get 2 of their famous monster tacos, a choice of a monster
Good
churro,
choice.
or a jumbo egg roll. I will kill you live on the stream.
HR.
You get nuggets, curly fries, and a drink, and the limited edition color changing Halloween cup. That's a monster size combo. Well, let me see what else.
It was great. Now, how much is the munchie meal? Did it say? Because we got these things for
Well,
free.
it's a good deal, is what it is. Get yours before it disappears.
Okay. Boo.
Right. By the way, listen to this.
What?
Jack in the Box just dropped new Monster Munchies, bigger, bolder versions of your favorite snacks. Monster tacos are a 10-inch churro,
Feels like a back page item here.
all
6 to 8
for around
bucks.
$3. How much is this, Brent?
$6 to $8.
6 to 8
Which
for
one
the
you
buck.
get?
Anyway, pick it up. Everyone loves Jack in the Box.
Everyone does.
Seriously,
It's
so
great.
Pick it up
It's great.
this Halloween.
I do like me some Jack in the Box curly fries. They're fire.
Sip from
Yeah,
this
we
cup. if you
can't
dare.
really rely on the Padres to hit home runs to get us Jack in the Box. So this is as close as
Right.
we're gonna
Good
get.
point.
Not a lot of home run Jack in the Box promotion deals this year for the Padres.
All right, Jim, tell us about your poll.
Phrasing.
What? The
I can't. What?
tell us about your online poll.
No, you're not. Nothing you
The
say.
poll on the website.
There's a lot of polls on websites.
Tell us about the poll.
Okay. Right now, 72% have voted for Albert Pujols.
Of course they have, right?
22% Ruben Niebla, 6% Nick Hundley.
Which means they're hiring Nick Hundley.
100%. Or they're hiring like
Which again isn't
Ryan
that,
Flaherty.
and I'm not saying it's a bad baseball decision. I just don't know if you're going to win a popularity contest doing that. And they don't need to.
You're
They'll sell
not,
their
you're not
tickets.
in the business of winning popularity contests. You're in the business of winning baseball games.
They've been in the business of both.
They have definitely.
Right.
They if we know anything about Group Dog, he likes the pomp and circus. He likes the celebrities coming to the game and all that.
Dude,
other
what
stuff.
will people say if they hire Pujols? People be through the roof. They'll be so excited.
And then when they win 84 games next year,
They won't be as excited.
exactly.
But don't you agree that if they announce tomorrow or this weekend Albert Pujols is the next manager, you'd see a ton of
Yeah.
social traction
Oh,
well
yeah.
beyond Nick Hundley.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Nick Hundley, I mean, people talk about it.
Like once again, when the World Series would end, the talk of the offseason to begin with would be
Yeah.
the Padres hiring Albert Pujols.
Yeah, absolutely.
First ballot Hall of Famer, potentially 100% Hall of Famer. We'll see how it goes.
Eligible
Angel-
when? In 2 years, 1 year? He could be going to the Hall of Fame as sitting manager of your team.
Right. How's
That's
that?
just crazy
That's gonna be-
unique.
that's gonna be-
Crazy unique. You'd have someone else acting as manager for a few days, I would assume.
Yeah. Then Ruben Niebla gets his shot.
Yeah, there. Hey, Ruben, we're signing you to a 2-day deal.
Yeah. You'll be the manager when Albert goes into the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, exactly. So, I know it would be popular. I don't know if it would work. I don't know if any of these are guarantees.
Nothing is guaranteed.
Mm-mm.
Even if they went on and hired Bochy, it's not a guarantee.
Right. Yeah, he's not a spring chicken.
Yeah. And I think the argument of, well, don't hire this guy because he'd be a first-time manager.
Yeah.
They're all going to be first-time managers. That's what it feels like. Whoever they hire. Either if it's these three guys or the mystery candidate, Brian Esposito, Ryan Flaherty, whoever they hire, my guess, and I would bet a lot of money on it, is going to be a first time manager.
Yeah, I think you're right. Yeah, I do think you're right.
And the names that are springing up here, like Albert or Nick Hundley or Ruben Niebla, even though they're first time managers, like, doesn't bother me. It doesn't. Now, if they hired some rando like Jace Tingler again, then I'd have concerns. I like to at least know a little bit about the manager before they hire him or when they hire him. Because if you hire somebody that everyone goes, who?
But what about my theory? Tell me if there's any validity to this. Sometimes you hire a DC or an OC in football, and they are the best offensive coordinator, the best defensive coordinator. Now, some of these guys are great head coaches.
Ben Johnson.
There's examples of you hire the OC and he's not a head coach. He's a great coordinator.
Right.
I'm trying to bring the analogy to baseball. Ruben Niebla is considered one of the better pitching coaches.
Right.
What if he's not one of the better managers?
You can say the same thing about Nick Hundley or
I know,
Pujols.
but we already know Ruben Niebla is doing something well. As in, are we rocking the boat with Niebla? You already know what he's capable of doing with the pitching staff. Would anything change if he became manager with your pitching staff? Obviously, they'd hire a pitching coach.
Yeah. I just think that this organization, if they hired Ruben Niebla, would you consider that like a safe move?
Yes, relatively speaking.
If they hired Albert Pujols, would you consider that a risky move?
Yeah, a little bit.
Okay. I think that this organization, and Preller's known for this, he's done it with all of his trades, most of his trades, right? He is not a play it safe guy.
I agree.
While Ruben Niebla might be considered play it safe, I think, a little shakeup wouldn't hurt.
It's still unconventional.
Like, hey, bring someone outside of the organization in here and, change it up.
Mm-hmm.
Right. I mean, you had Mike Schild inside the organization, weaseling his way to be the manager for 2 years before Bob Melvin left for the Giants. And they brought Bob Melvin in. Now, it didn't work because the relationship between him and Preller was awful. But I mean, took the team to the NLCS. That's more than anything that Mike Schild could say.
Let's talk to Darnay Tripp about it.
Okay.
NBC7, Darnay joins us on the other side. We'll give away Aztec tickets in about 20 minutes for Saturday's homecoming game at Snapdragon. JD Wicker, Aztecs athletic director, joins us at 5:15. It's John and Jim.
All right, this update's brought to you by eBay. World Series Game 5. We're about 30 minutes away from first pitch at Dodger Stadium. Series is tied at 2 games apiece. And tonight at 6 p.m. right here on San Diego Sports 760, you have SDFC Midweek Live with Darren and Adrian as they'll recap SDFC's Game 1 win this past Sunday night and look ahead to Game 2 on Saturday in Portland. Swapping out your tires, there's nothing like it. With eBay, you find the feel you're looking for. From smooth highway rides to grip for rough terrain, get all the tires you need at prices you'll love. eBay, things people love.
Oh, our dear friend of the show, Darnay Tripp from NBC7. Dear friend.
Who completely volunteered to come on the show. He's like, you know what, guys? I've been thinking about it lately, and I just really want to come on your show. So we appreciate that.
Out of the kindness of his heart, he's back with us on John and Jim. Darnay, we do appreciate you. All right, let's just get to the chase here with the Padres managerial search. If you're AJ Preller, who are you choosing? If it's down to these 3, if you had Albert Pujols, if you had Nick Hundley, if you had Ruben Niebla, who are you choosing and why?
Don't even get a chance to like warm up, stretch my legs at all. We're going right into kind of like the.
You want to make fun of Jim? You can.
What?
I mean, always. But in this case, I really am torn. I mean, look, Nick Hundley, we're familiar with the name. We don't know too much though beyond that, like what our expectations might be. Obviously, there's some of that with Albert Pujols as well, but just him being a known commodity and seeing the way that he's interacted with players on the Padres roster, notably Machado and Tatis, obviously. And then Ruben Niebla is just kind of like a different familiarity there. And so I think, Hundley kind of feels like the wild card, whereas Niebla may be kind of the safe pick because, again, he's been around. He deserves it just based on what he's done in his capacity the last 4 years. Him being a local guy, like it checks all the boxes. And then Albert Pujols being Albert Pujols. I think if you're forcing me to answer this question, man, Albert Pujols, that is fascinating. And so it's hard for me to stray off that, but then kind of like, I feel like Ruben Niebla really, really deserves it. And so I'd love to see it from him. I'm really split right down the middle. I think there'd be part of me that would be disappointed if it's not Albert Pujols, just because it's so interesting. And in terms of what we do, I mean, it's great. It's terrific content. But then there's also the part of me that would feel so good for Ruben Niebla if he got the opportunity. So I'm split right down the middle between those two.
Why not have both? I mean, Ruben Niebla, we talked about this the other day. He's still under contract with the Padres. It's not like it's if they don't give Ruben Niebla, the job that he's just gone. Now he could leave on his own. He could say, well, he didn't hire me as manager, so I need to go. But he's also under contract here. So maybe in the 9.5-hour meeting with Albert Pujols the other day, maybe they were convincing him like, hey, we want to keep Ruben Niebla on the staff. I mean, I kind of look at it like, why not have both?
Certainly. And I would love that. And maybe that's kind of the ideal situation, because I don't think you're hiring Ruben Niebla and then bringing Albert Pujols on as your bench coach, Right. And so I think that's probably the ideal situation. What we don't know is, now we haven't heard, to my knowledge, any reports of Ruben Niebla interviewing anywhere else. I would be surprised if he left to be a pitching coach anywhere else. And so it kind of depends on like his appetite to be a manager and if he would feel slighted, because this would be what his second go around getting, not to say he was passed over with Mike Schilt, but inheriting a new manager. And in this instance, he's clearly got some interest in the job. And so, yeah, I think you lay out the perfect scenario. I would love that if that's what came to fruition. But in fairness to Ruben Niebla, if he feels like, you know what, I want to pursue opportunities elsewhere, at this point, you kind of have to say, hey, appreciate all you've done for us and best of luck going forward.
No, keep him under hostage. He's with this team no matter what. You're under contract.
Darnay Tripp is with us right now. John and Jim, San Diego Sports 760. I mean, it obviously matters who they hire, but does it truly matter who they? I mean, when you watch what's playing out, the Dodgers.
Like who's John Schneider? He's 2 inches away from the World Series.
Yeah, exactly.
Are we just determining who will get replaced in 2027?
Yes. Exactly. As in, is the manager going to get the most out of the team? I guess is the question. But is getting the most out of the team even enough, I guess. When you look at the National League with the Dodgers, or you look around baseball with the slug, is this more in the manager at this point, or who's going to get the most out of this team?
Yeah, no, I mean, I think that's what that's what makes Albert Pujols interesting is like, can you relate to these guys? Can he inspire these guys in a different way? Because just running out any, ordinary manager, it's like, why should we think that it's going to go any differently? Maybe like one really good season, one, so decent season. That's kind of been the pattern that they've been in. And maybe Ruben Niebla kind of fits that bill as well, just because of the familiarity and allows you to have some continuity, which is obviously something that this franchise has lacked. But your point, I mean, it's a good point. I do think like there's so much coming back, and obviously they're going to have to figure out the rotation. It'd be great if they could come up with some way to keep Michael King. But really, so often we've gone into spring training like, who's the catcher? Who's at first base? Who's in left field? And this year, it's really just like, okay, sew up the rotation, and then who's at first base. And it's rare to be in a situation like that. So I think this is a season or an off season where you can feel like, okay, this team has a chance to win some games. You want the right person at the controls, but to your point, I think this is no surprise. Baseball, like how much difference does the manager really make? That part has always been a little bit difficult to tell.
So the manager obviously is an important thing in baseball. You need a manager, but I feel like the job, security of AJ Preller and the contract extension talks is honestly more important than their manager right now, because you're going into a potentially a lame duck year here if you don't resolve the AJ Preller problem here with him only having 1 year left on his deal. I would think, and tell me if you agree, there's no way that when they hire a manager and they have a press conference that they have not resolved AJ's future, right? You can't have that.
I would advise strongly against that being the case, because I think just the press conference is going to be very, very uncomfortable for a lot of people in that event. And you don't want that for anybody. You don't want that for the communication staff. You don't want that for AJ Preller. And you definitely do not want that for whoever the manager is, because that's just putting them in that's how they're starting their tenure as the Padres manager, in this really uncomfortable situation where people are asking them and AJ Preller and whoever else speaks about somebody else's future and what that could possibly mean. And so this needs to be like the famous Mike Clevenger tweet where it's like, hey, we, without the bad news, of course, the weird 2-for-1, news dump where it's, we hired a manager and, oh, by the way, AJ Preller signed to a 3-year extension. Like, let's get this both done before anybody's sitting in front of a microphone, because I don't think the Padres want to be in that situation where there's all these questions hanging around AJ Preller, and that might be kind of the bigger topic than whoever it is that's on the podium talking about their new job.
It's a really good point. Darnay Tripp, NBC7 with us right now on John and Jim. Among these profile or higher profile free agents, do you think any will return? I'm talking about Michael King, Dylan Cease, Luis Ariz, Ryan O'Hearn. Who else am I missing, Jim, among free agents?
Michael King,
Suarez.
Robert Suarez. Thank you, Robert. Out of that group of 5, will any return?
I think, and I was listening to you guys discussing Jim Bowden's projections the other day. Ryan O'Hearn seems like, that could be a comfortable spot, financially, and obviously the need with first base. What's interesting now is like they have so many lefties, like Sheets being a lefty, Merrill, Cronenworth being a lefty. Now, granted, you wouldn't have Luis Ariz in this situation, but it's like oddly become a lefty heavy lineup. And then Michael King, you can get Michael King for somewhere in the 20s. I think you just got to do that. I mean, it's been such a great fit. He seems to really like it here. And so those are the 2. I just don't think you can bring Luis Ariz back. God bless him. What a unique, interesting talent. And I hope he goes somewhere and wins another batting title, but I don't think it should be for the Padres. It's obvious what their need is, and he doesn't fit that need. And again, you have like a chance to make one significant addition, and I don't think it can be Luis Ariz to the lineup, of course. So I'd say Michael King, Ryan O'Hearn, probably the most likely. And then obviously Michael King should be your top priority, just based on what we've seen from him and, a year and a half of actual, starts for the Padres.
So everything we've heard, Albert Pujols, multiple interviews, a 9.5-hour interview the other day with the Padres. He's a finalist for the job. If he didn't get the job, would that feel like a disappointment? Like, would you feel like the fan base would be disappointed if Albert Pujols wasn't the manager?
Maybe a little bit, but probably not if it's Ruben Niebla. I mean,
all right, it's not Ruben Niebla. So it's not Pujols and it's not Niebla.
Oh, yeah. Then it gets a little weird.
Yeah, a little, right?
Look, then it's going to really be incumbent on AJ Preller and Padres brass to really, they're going to have to explain their thinking anyways, because none of these guys have managed before. And, there could be a mystery fourth or fifth candidate. But yeah, I'd say with Hundley, that would seem most out of left field and, easy to kind of explain. Pujols, explain Niebla. Hundley's just one we'd probably collectively have to warm up to. And who knows, maybe he's the clearly the best candidate and we learn that over time, but at least in the interim, that's one that you probably have to sell more than, I don't think you have to sell Albert Pujols that hard, and you're definitely not going to sell Ruben Niebla that hard.
More likely, SDFC wins the MLS Cup. San Diego State wins the Mountain West in football.
Ooh.
Oh, that's a really good one.
I think SDFC might be, I would argue, maybe closer, quote unquote. But then again, they're playing this. I mean,
they have to
we're talking about winning in the postseason.
2, 3, 4 matches. They're going
four rounds, right? Yeah, 4 matches.
Yeah,
exactly,
it's like Aztecs probably have to beat Boise State twice.
Yeah.
And then there's just so much unknown. It's a weird playoff system. They're at home, but they haven't necessarily played great at home. It was good to see them win on Sunday.
Right.
And the Eastern Conference has been the stronger conference, and you just don't. They haven't played Philly. They haven't played a lot of those teams, Miami, and so Miami, a great example. So I might go with the Aztecs. Even though SDFC is in the postseason, it feels like the Aztecs are like knocking on the door of doing that, and there's maybe a little less unknown, and it's really just that one team that you feel like is the big question: can they beat Boise? So I guess I'd go with the Aztecs.
How about that, Jim?
Wow. Okay. Why do you hate SDFC, Darnay?
I have a bet. I want to propose to you guys.
Yes. Give it to us, please.
Okay. So there's 4 of us. And I'd say 4 outcomes in terms of who breaks the Padres news, right? So you've got AC, Lynn, Casavell, fill in the blank national writer.
Okay.
So I think we should all draft one of them, and winner gets a burrito or a 6-pack or something like that. I don't know. We can figure that part out later.
Are you going to? Okay. So who gets the first pick though?
That's the big thing. Who is the first pick?
Does it even matter?
I don't care. Give it to Brent. Brent's got first pick.
Brent, you have first pick.
All right, you have first pick,
Dennis
Brent.
Lynn, AJ Casavell, Kevin AC, national reporter to break the Padres manager news first. Here's Brent.
Dennis Lynn.
Okay.
Oh, man.
All right, goes against our Padres insider.
All right.
You go next, Darnay.
I'll go with your Padres insider since he seems to be the most active on the beat. I'll go with AC.
Okay.
Now, is Jim going to go with AJ or is he going to go national?
Well, you're screwed.
AJ broke Melvin.
He did.
AJ broke Melvin.
You're going national.
I'm going national. I'll take of the national guys. I don't know why, but I'll take. I hate him, but I'll take.
I was going to give you the field. I was going to give you the field.
Okay, cool. I'll the field. I'll have every national reporter.
I'm going to text AJ Casavell after this and be like, dude,
bro, I need your help.
I need you. I know you haven't tweeted since October 3rd. I know you're in like Cancun or something.
Yeah.
But I'll
watching
I guess
some soccer and some Brooklyn Nets basketball.
Yeah.
We can figure out the stakes in a text chat, but we got our guys and go Kevin AC.
All right.
Go national reporters.
Darnay, we appreciate you, man. We will, I'm sure we'll bother you in like 3 days.
Or 3 seconds.
See you at VA House, maybe?
Are you coming by tonight?
I'll be there. I'll be there.
Dude, great. Yeah. Yes. I look forward
thanks for the invite.
Jim, you don't. the Super Bowl could be here tonight between like the Niners and the Niners. You'd be like,
I feel like Jim doesn't leave the house. I know every so often I see like nice dates, like date night dinners, that sort of thing. I feel like Jim doesn't leave the house.
I got things to do.
Okay. Darnay, appreciate you, man. I'll see you at VA House. All right. Darnay Tripp. All right. We'll react to that conversation on the other side. Plus, coming up next, we will give away homecoming tickets for Saturday. Speaking of the Aztecs, we'll give away a pair of homecoming tickets for Saturday. Plus, we'll tell you about tomorrow's broadcast. We're on the road tomorrow. We'll tell you more about that. Coming up next, John and Jim. All right, San Diego Sports 760 congratulates our $5,000 winners, and iHeartRadio's Thank a Teacher, powered by Donors Choose. There's still time for you to nominate a public school teacher making a difference, and maybe they'll be one of our next winners of $5,000 to make over their classroom. I would love to make over our classroom for $5,000.
$5,000 would go a long way here,
wouldn't it?
Yeah.
What would you do with $5,000 in here? Hold on. Help us say thank you to the educators shaping our future. Nominate your favorite teacher now at iHeartRadio.com/teachers. That's an interesting question.
I know that I would spend $2,000 on a giant backdrop here.
What would be on it? If you could just make the perfect backdrop. Seriously, I'm curious.
I wouldn't do this.
Jim just burns it all down.
This thing was $2,000, dude.
We have $3,000 left over.
I know that's what I mean. Yeah, I'd spend $2,000 on something that doesn't matter, and then I would spend another $3,000 on some chairs and maybe some better microphones and maybe
mics are good. The chairs is a good idea.
Maybe like
like
actual
video cameras or
maybe like an actual laptop. Yeah, that works. And then like instead of us sitting at like bar stools like up high, we're sitting like down lower. TVs might be able to work.
Okay, so you have some ideas.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
Brent, what did Brent say?
Better computers for Brent back there.
Yeah, I'd probably start with Brent.
Yeah,
give him the latest and greatest.
Yeah, screw you guys. Hook me in.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
All right.
Tomorrow we're at the Broken Yoke, San Diego State.
Yes, we are.
Right across from Trader Joe's.
Can't wait.
Right, I can't wait either. We're going to have Brian Dutcher join us tomorrow live from Broken Yoke. We are going to have Miles Bird join us live. I believe BJ Davis, Aztecs guard, as well. You can join us. Swing by the Broken Yoke tomorrow
We'll be there.
afternoon. We're there from 2 to 6. So please swing by, grab a bite to eat, grab a drink. Aztec opener is Tuesday. Their last exhibition game is tonight against USD, the game that me and Darnay and the rest of the country are going to, and the game that you're not going to. That'll be tonight.
I got things I got to take care of.
You act like you're gonna like knock someone off or something. Like the way you said that was like,
I gotta take someone out.
Yeah, exactly.
You got to look up pizza recipes.
Yeah, what are you gonna buy? A pizza stone? Is that the big plan tonight? I'm kidding.
It might.
Are you? It's possible.
What
does that cost?
There's a couple that I've been looking at.
$150, $350,
$100.
$100. I feel like that's reasonable if you're gonna cook pizzas.
Aaron last night, just after we were talking about this for like 20 minutes, and by we I mean me,
right?
And she just stopped me. She's like, she goes, Jim, just buy the damn stone.
Really?
Yeah. She's
so
like,
perfect. You want to?
She's like, just buy it. Just make pizza.
Do this with Charizards. Do this with Pokemon cards. Just buy the set. Just buy the card.
The thing with the cards are, it's like 7 times the amount of
money.
You
get no pizza at the end.
And I get nothing.
Right.
I just get to look at it, and that's it.
I mean, I feel like it's a win-win because if you're making gluten-free pizza for Erin, she will appreciate that. Yes, $100 is a decent amount, but if you're making a number of pizzas, once you use it 5 or 10 times, it's only $10 per time.
Yeah, I'm just a little worried that I'm gonna make the pizza.
Yeah,
and then I'm gonna be like, I'm over it, and I never use the stone again.
Return it like you're gonna do with the Halloween costume.
Well, I didn't buy a Halloween costume.
I told Kristen about the 6-7 idea.
Yeah,
from you.
Mm-hmm.
And she's like, I love that. I'm like, yeah, but where am I going to find a number 6?
It's like we're going to have the jankiest costume. We're going to wear our clothes.
Shirt. Yeah, we're going to we're not going to go nude.
And then I'll get like a piece of paper and write the number 6 on it and we tape it on our chest. And put the 6.
What time is this on Friday?
11 a.m. I know. We don't have to go.
11 a.m.
I know. We don't have to do this. It's not like a mandatory thing.
It's not?
No.
Yeah, but they'd appreciate it.
Yeah. But it's not mandatory.
It's not mandatory. We'll see. We'll see. I still need to see what the prizes are. I know it's listed somewhere around the.
It just says prizes. I read
just says
prizes.
Okay. Yeah.
I mean, last year was
Pizza
money,
Stone.
Dude, Pizza Stone would be awesome.
Can you imagine?
I dress up as like, I don't even know. I'd have the greatest costume ever if the Pizza Stone was on the line.
I know. So is there anything you need to see from Aztecs men's basketball before the season starts Tuesday? Like is there anything you're curious about tonight? They're playing USD.
I would like if, when they go out there tonight, they take the basketball
and put it in the hoop
and they put it through the hoop
Yeah, I like that.
Like the circular cylinder, like they just put the ball through that and score points.
I do like that. By the way, Lamont Butler out for the year, torn meniscus. He had just signed with the G League affiliate of the Hawks. So thinking about Lamont,
that's
out for, I know he had been a kind of a true warrior. He's played a lot of basketball.
He had a sequence during the preseason.
Oh my gosh.
I forget who he was guarding, but he shut this guy down.
It was like a regular.
Yeah.
I remember we talked about like, wow, that was really impressive. Yeah. And he's such a good defender. And his offensive game has really come along.
Yeah, so he has played a lot of basketball. In basketball years, he's old.
Yeah, because he played 5 full years.
And he's gone deep into March Madness for a couple of those seasons.
No, he's played a lot of games. He's a good player. But yeah, he's going to be out. Football again, Saturday. We're giving away homecoming tickets. I kind of buried the lead.
You buried the lead.
Because we're giving away homecoming tickets in about, let's say, 120 seconds. So don't go anywhere. We'll tell you how to win those tickets. JD Wicker will join us at 5:15. I feel like Jim has tough questions for JD.
I don't have tough questions.
I just about the field.
I just want to, like, how do you navigate potentially everything that's coming up here?
Are you going to ask about Sean Lewis with all the success?
Sure. Contract extension on? No, I'm just
seriously, like, what do you do? Did he sign a 5-year deal when he got here? I think it was.
I don't know, Mr. Aztec.
I mean, I'm not looking at the contracts every day. Sean Lewis.
Kind of are.
I am.
I don't know.
Sean Lewis named head coach. STSU.
5-year deal.
It had to be, right?
5-year deal.
He ain't coming for 4 years. I was kidding. I don't know if it was announced officially. I'm sure it's somewhere, though.
I think it was a 5-year deal.
Yeah, I'm sure someone wrote about it in UT or whatever.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, you have some tough questions. 5-year contract. 5-year contract.
I don't have the tough questions. We're just going to talk to JD.
Okay. We'll talk to JD. All right. Game 5 is about to get underway of the World Series. Magic Johnson, I think, pivotal, he said.
It's a very pivotal game, according to Magic Johnson.
Could be decisive.
Yeah.
Winner has a leg up. All those things.
Right. When the series is tied at 2 games apiece, the winner of game 5 goes on to lead the series 3-2.
They feel good. Now, remember, the Mariners did win game 5.
Yes. And then what happened there?
Exactly. So it's not a guarantee.
Who's this game more important for? Dodgers or
Dodgers?
Dodgers, yeah.
Dodgers, because you're going to Toronto and you have Blake Snell tonight and he's not starting for you.
You got to win 2 on the road in Toronto.
Yeah. I would definitely say the Dodgers.
I would say the Dodgers.
So the pressure kind of has shifted because Toronto could lose this game and say, we just did this against Seattle. We just came back from 3-2 down.
Right.
We can do it again. That would be my thought process.
And unlike the atmosphere at Dodger Stadium, it will actually be a good atmosphere in Toronto at the Rogers Center.
Yes, it'll be so rowdy.
Yeah.
All right, call right now if you want 2 free tickets to see the Aztecs Saturday at 4 p.m. against Wyoming at Snapdragon Stadium. Caller 6, you are going. Caller 6 to 877-767-4760. If you don't win these tickets, you can always grab tickets for homecoming at goaztecs.com. San Diego State is 6-1. And obviously tied atop the Mountain West because they haven't lost a game in the conference, 6-1 overall. So call right now, 877-767-4760. Caller 6. You have 2 free tickets to see the Aztecs against Wyoming this Saturday at 4 p.m. at Snapdragon Stadium. All right, JD Wicker will join us at 5:15. We're with you for the next hour. This is John and Jim. All right, hey guys, it is Schaefer again, and as I've been telling you, there's no better time than now to get down to your local Toyota dealer. They have new vehicles arriving each and every day, including the most popular cars, trucks, and SUVs. So whatever kind of vehicle you're looking for, hurry into your Toyota dealer today. As you know, it's Trucktober. It's going on right now at your Toyota dealer. It's the best time to get into a new Toyota truck. They've got the largest inventory. We're talking about Tacomas, Tundras. They're ready to roll. The Tacoma is known for its legendary toughness, off-road capability, and everyday efficiency, perfect for weekend adventures or just tackling your to-do list. And the Tundra brings serious power, impressive towing capacity, and bold design, plus the latest tech and comfort features. Whether you need a truck that's built for the trails, built for work, or built for your family's next adventure, Toyota's got you covered this Trucktober. Again, new vehicles arriving each and every day. Toyota's got you covered this Trucktober. We make it easy. See your Toyota dealer today.
This update's brought to you by eBay. Game 5 of the World Series. Magic Johnson says it's a crucial one when the series is tied at 2 games apiece. We're moments away from first pitch. Of course, winner of this game has a 3-2 series lead. Game 6 will be in Toronto on Friday night. And SDFC Midweek Live in 1 hour from now. SDFC Midweek Live previewing Game 2 between SDFC and Portland coming up on Saturday night. Swapping out your tires, there's nothing like it. With eBay, you find the feel you're looking for, from smooth highway rides to grip for rough terrain. Get all the tires you need at prices you'll love. eBay, things people love.
Getting you all set for that drive home. Let's just start the show. Here's John and Jim.
All right, San Diego and Southern California, what's going on? This is the final hour of John and Jim. And J.D. Wicker, San Diego State's athletic director, joins us live in about 12 minutes as we look ahead to homecoming this weekend at Snapdragon Stadium. We are also, of course, looking ahead to this, I think some would call pivotal Game 5 between the Dodgers and the Blue Jays, about to get underway.
I wouldn't even know the Blue Jays are in the World Series, to be honest with you.
They are.
Oh, okay.
Oh, they're in it.
Oh, they're in it.
But you're saying you're right. Because when you just watch the coverage, because we're not listening right now, but we're watching it on TV, everything has centered around
the Dodgers.
The Dodgers.
If how the Dodgers are playing, how Shohei Ohtani is playing. It's not because of what the Blue Jays are doing. It's because the Dodgers aren't doing this. It's just mind numbing. And then you texted me something.
What was it?
It was the Joe Davis stuff.
Yeah, they did. I guess an open to their broadcast tonight on Fox was almost like an homage to the art of play calling through the lens of Joe Davis, right?
Yeah. To me, that signals, hey, we need to pump up our A team here because
we need to like tie him to Vin,
right? Because other than Dodger fans, no one likes him.
It is. I will agree with this point that he's not the first to do it. Joe Davis is not the first man to call World Series games for the team that he broadcasts locally for.
Right.
As we've discussed, Vin Scully and others like the Jack Bucks or the Joe Bucks of the world. But in today's world, it does feel like he is so tied to them. He feels more local than national to me. Maybe it's because we're in Southern California.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I wonder what the perception is out east. Like, when you think Joe Davis, are you thinking NFL game caller and World Series game caller, or are you thinking voice of the Dodgers?
I think there's a lot of people that think voice of the Dodgers.
Definitely here.
I gotta find this. I'll see if I can send it to you, Brent. Probably should have done this earlier.
What, the clip?
Yeah, the montage of
what I sent you.
No.
Okay.
I'm gonna put in the rundown, Brent. It's somebody went on social media and they clipped all of the Blue Jays homers compared to the Dodgers homers.
Gotcha.
In the World Series here.
And like his sound.
And has sound. Yeah, it's at 5:00, Brent. So it's pretty funny.
I need to
when we listen to it. Like he's not when he calls the Blue Jays home run, he's not like high drive to left, Vladdy with a 2-run homer. But
like local radio, some guys are like that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But you're not going to get that national TV typically.
No.
I mean, that would be a bad
like who was the White Sox guy?
Oh, that guy. John Schifrin?
Yeah, no.
Radio? Oh, you're talking about, the famous guy before like Jason Benetti was calling White Sox. Hawk Harrelson.
Hawk Harrelson, yes. Man, he as biased as they come, but as he should be.
But that's how, or like the Harry Carey style, the homer call.
Right. It's not, Joe Davis isn't going to that length.
No, nowhere near it, I don't think.
But
You're saying there's been a difference.
I mean, I watched damn near every pitch of the 18-inning marathon game 3. And I at one point in that game, I could hear just in his head the switch go, I don't even care anymore. Like I don't even care about my bias. Like it's just I'm just gonna call this as a Dodgers announcer. That's kind of like that's just what it was so.
Can I just
blatant.
make this point though? It's kind of a hard spot to be put in. As in, if your team is in the World Series, if I call games for the Padres,
well, then don't have a broadcaster of a baseball team be your number one for your national games.
But what other options? Wouldn't the local broadcasters theoretically be some of the best broadcasters? Like Don Orsillo is a local broadcaster, so he's qualified to call playoffs. Or Joe Davis, name the name. Like, who are you going to go with if it's not a baseball guy? I get it. Joe Buck was a local guy.
Adam Amin.
Amin.
Mm-hmm.
He's really good.
Fantastic.
Okay.
Kevin Burkhardt, I don't know if he's ever called baseball before, but he's on the pregame show.
Hey, you've never, I got you.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I just think Joe Davis is nothing special, guys. He's not. He just, he has a voice. There's no denying that, but he's nothing special. He's not A-team worthy.
I guess my point is, because I know, like, let's say my buddy Kevin Brown was calling the World Series or Jason Benetti. Mm-hmm. Once their team is in it too, you're running into a world of issues.
I know.
Like Kevin's calling games for the Orioles, so that's not happening traditionally.
Right.
And Jason's calling game for the Tigers, and that's not happening traditionally either. But it's like once, quote unquote, your team is in it, it gets a little tricky.
Yeah. For everybody out there that complain about Joe Buck, a lot
of people.
I actually, in real time, I was like, I like Joe Buck a lot.
You've said it forever. Since I've known you, you've said that. Yes.
How many of you out there are wishing you had Joe Buck right now? Guarantee you it's a lot.
Joe Buck is an excellent baseball game caller. Now, he doesn't want to do it. He's run away from baseball. Do we have it, Brent? Okay, this is what Jim was just referring to in terms of Joe Davis's home run calls this series.
There's a fly ball in deep left center field. Headed back there. It is gone. Brown Jr. Left center. Struggles. Archer sends a towering drive. Right center field. Kiss it goodbye. Oh, Ohtani. Center cut fastball.
All right, so I know what I want to spend $5,000 on. I want to spend
computer.
$5,000 on our crap computers back there.
Computer that can play back.
Jeez,
audio.
can we get I don't know, some equipment to work in this building ever?
The vending machine works,
A lot of times it doesn't.
but I like when it does. World Series fact, real quick, and we'll get back to that. Winner of Game 5, like Magic Johnson said, wins the series 67% of the time. So pivotal game.
Wow.
All right. So are you saying that his calls there for the Dodgers were so over the top compared to his Blue Jays calls?
Dude, he sounded like the ball was 40 rows deep for a Will Smith fly out to center field. You can't tell me, listening to that, even though the computer sucked, that his call for the Dodgers homers compared to the Blue Jays homers are completely different.
They're different.
They're different.
I agree.
The inflection of his voice for a Dodger home run is higher than it is for a Blue Jays home run. And that's a fact.
We're going to break early, Brent, because JD Wicker is going to join us in a few minutes with Game 5 of the World Series set to get underway in the next minute or two. So JD Wicker ahead of San Diego State homecoming. Again, the Aztecs basketball season officially starts Tuesday. Aztecs football team is 6-1 and in firm contention for a Mountain West championship here under Sean Lewis in 2025. So San Diego State's athletic director, JD Wicker, will join us next. This is John and Jim, San Diego Sports 760 and live on the iHeartRadio app. All right, JD Wicker is going to join us here momentarily. Aztecs have homecoming on Saturday at Snapdragon Stadium. What a year it's been. Aztecs are 6-1, undefeated at home. Wyoming is here. Perfect start time, Saturday at 4 p.m. Tickets are available at goaztecs.com. And JD Wicker back with us here on the home of the Aztecs, San Diego Sports 760. First of all, JD, hope you're doing well. We're looking forward to, obviously, everything that's coming up this weekend at Snapdragon Stadium.
Yeah, great to be back on with you guys, and looking forward to homecoming activities and the Wyoming Cowboys showing up. But we've got a little basketball tonight, and then women's soccer has senior night tomorrow night as they're working on getting into the Mountain West Conference tournament. So a lot of activity this week.
So I guess I would just start with the spot that the football team is in right now, undefeated in the Mountain West. Obviously, still a lot of football to be played, just like every team in the country. But you got to feel good about the situation that the Aztecs are in right now, right? With homecoming to come and then the opportunities that still lie ahead. Basically, everything is still in front of this team just past the halfway point.
Yeah, I mean, that's the key part right there. We control our own destiny at this point. Us and Boise State, rightfully so. It feels good that, we're both back at the top of the conference where we've been so often in the past, and that game's coming up, but you got two very important games coming up before that with Wyoming, and then an always tricky trip to the islands to play a really good Hawaii team. But it's been nice to see. We expected a step from last year to this year to see improvement, and obviously people had to wait and see attitude, and the Washington State game was a little bit tough, but we also learned a lot. Those kids learned a lot from that game, and those young men have shown, the ability to take a difficult situation in Washington State, and they have just run with it since then.
And when you look at, what Sean Lewis has done in particular, I mean, he's been working hard. Last year, only 3 wins, but, making sure that he does all the right steps here to build this program. What can you say about what he's done in his first, year and a half plus here to build the program back up to where you guys expect it to be and where everyone expects it and wants it to be?
Yeah, this is exactly what we saw when we went through the interview process with him, that he has a great plan, and you always hope that in year one it's going to go a little better. And we were really close last year. I mean, you look at the number of close games that we lost first half of the season, and you had some injuries, and then you just lost some momentum. But the way he approached this season, those 6 key guys that he wanted to keep off of last year's team that were most important, and then what we did in the portal, and we've had people rally around this team, and they have gone to work every day from last January when they got back after the season. And so proud of what Sean, the coaching staff, and our student athletes have been able to accomplish to this point.
JD Wicker is San Diego State's athletic director. He's with us right now on John and Jim. What do you want our listeners to know about Saturday? Again, I mentioned the 4:00 start. San Diego State's undefeated at home. It's homecoming. There's a hoodie giveaway. What do you want people to know about what's going on this weekend at Snapdragon?
Yeah, it's also Heroes Appreciation game. We'll have military as much as we can have military at this point in time, but police, fire, first responders. It's going to be, great to honor those folks at the game on Saturday. The River Park Block Party. We'll have the Common Kings there, and a great football team. I mean, that's the best part about this. For so long, we've heard from our fans, we want excitement, we want to see winning. And we have the best college football stadium in the country. So there's no reason that we shouldn't sell this out with, as many Aztec alumni and football fans as we have in this community. You've got a great opportunity to come out to Snapdragon at 4:00 on Saturday and see a fantastic product.
We were talking about this earlier in the show, JD. There's a lot of things that potentially could be happening at Snapdragon Stadium in the upcoming month. We have the waiver in the postseason. We have SDFC. We have San Diego State football. How do you look at it like that's a great thing, or do you look at it like, oh man, this is I gotta cram everything in here. Hopefully, it's gonna be a lot of work.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of work. We're gonna gut the field on Saturday after the game and put a completely new field in to finish up the season, knowing that SDFC has playoffs. And we'll hope the Wave can get a good result on, I believe it's Saturday at Kansas City, and they'll climb into the top half and get to host a playoff match. So, yeah, I mean, I think this is all good. It's great for the community of San Diego to have this many opportunities to come out and support San Diego teams. I mean, it was a great atmosphere Sunday night for SDFC's win against Portland, and we're looking for that same type of atmosphere Saturday night as we beat the Cowboys.
JD Wicker with us right now. Well said on John and Jim. For me, and I think some of our listeners, everyone kind of wants to know what's next, specifically with the Pac-12. And I don't even know where we really are in that. And obviously it's going to kick off in July of 2026. But when people ask you what's next when it comes to the Pac-12, where do you typically go? What is the work that's still necessary between now and the start of next summer?
We still have that last package of for TV to come out, and we're getting very close on that. It's some I's and some T's at this point, but we should be announcing that, and that's going to have some really exciting news around it. I mean, there's going to be some exciting things to share about what we've been able to put together, and then the D package that's the streaming component for the most part that we'll be talking about for all of our sports. So we're excited about getting that done, and we've still got. We're still putting together how we're going to structure schedules for all of our sports. So we've got to get that rolling, because after the first of the year, those are going to be things that, we need to start releasing. Where are we going to host championships? So there's a lot of work to be done, but we feel very comfortable in the timeline that we have as we head towards July 1, 2026 launch.
We had him on the show earlier this week, Steven Strasburg, rejoining the baseball program at San Diego State. Well, what does that mean for the program, and how excited are you to have, one of the best San Diego State baseball alums, be returning in a coaching capacity?
I'm thrilled to have, Strasburg back on campus. He was in DC and pitching for the Nationals and doing all of that. And, we didn't see him very much. And now that he's retired and he's back in San Diego, he is really engaged with Coach Vance and with our baseball program, and so appreciative to have somebody like that, with the successes that he had as an Aztec and then carried over professionally. That's going to do wonders for our program. He's investing in the program. So excited to have Steven back on campus and helping our baseball team.
I want to go back to something you just mentioned about Pac-12 championships. Now, I'm sure it's still to be determined. Are you a proponent of a football championship game being in a neutral location or being on campus with a higher seed? And I guess the second part of that question is San Diego a possibility for neutral football or basketball championship events?
I think with football, neutral versus on campus, they both have pros, they both have cons. So we're still debating that within the conference. Sports San Diego and Snapdragon Stadium did submit a bid to host, be the host if we end up with a neutral site. There were other bidders as well. So we'll wait to see, what that solution is. Basketball, I don't think we'll see it here in San Diego. Really don't have the right facility to host that probably at this point in time. But, who knows down the road. But my hope would be we stay in Vegas. We've had such great success in Vegas. With the basketball tournament through the Mountain West Conference years. Obviously, Thomas and Mack, it wouldn't be there, but we'll figure that out. And, excited about those opportunities coming down the road.
So basketball starting up. We have a game tonight at Viejas Arena, the season opener next week. Just, looking at the outlook for this basketball team this year, pretty high expectations going into the season, right?
Yeah, very high expectations. Obviously, I'm sure the coaches had a lot of film to share after the UCLA game. Obviously, the first 10 minutes weren't great, but the next 30 minutes were very promising. And that's without Magoon being on the floor. That's with Bird kind of coming back from an injury. So lots of opportunity. Tonight will be, kind of fun to watch to see how Dutcher mixes and matches different players as they're still trying to figure out what their rotations are going to be. But yes, high expectations for this team. I can't remember the last time somebody was, got every first place vote in the preseason poll for the conference championship. But, we appreciate that other people are looking out and seeing, what Brian and the staff have put together and the work that the student athletes are doing.
Well, I'm going to be there tonight. Jim is bailing on tonight.
I'm not bailing on tonight. I have things to do. I'm sorry. I'm not bailing on anything.
I mean, what's more important than the city, kind of brawl here between USD and SDSU?
Yeah, Jim.
Do you want to talk to my wife, JD?
He's buying a pizza stone.
That's all right. I got it. That's okay. You got your hall pass.
JD, we appreciate it. We're looking forward to Saturday. It should be an awesome atmosphere. The Aztecs back home taking on the Wyoming Cowboys. Homecoming hoodie giveaway. Perfect start time of 4 p.m. You can hear the game on San Diego Sports 760, but you can watch it in person live Saturday at 4. Tickets are available for homecoming at goaztecs.com. And JD, we appreciate your time. I'll see you tonight. And of course, we'll see you this weekend as well.
Yeah, looking forward to it. Go Aztecs.
All right, great stuff from JD Wicker, San Diego State's longtime athletic director. So he's ripping you.
I know. No, he understands.
I know he does. We're all married. You're married. I'm married. He's married. We all get it.
You're married to the game.
I'm married to the game. That's right. Meanwhile, at Dodger Stadium, the Blue Jays went back to back to start the game off. Blake Snell.
Back to
First pitch was a homer. Was the second pitch a home run, or maybe the third pitch was?
Third pitch was a home run.
So the first and third pitches were hit out, including one by Vladdy, and it is early, and it's 2-0.
Not over.
Heard what Magic Johnson said. It's a big game. It's even bigger now.
I know.
No, it's not. I wouldn't say 2-0 in the first. It's over. I would agree.
It's not. It's not over yet, John.
It is not over. So the latest from Dodger Stadium on the other side, plus more in the Padres managerial search. We're getting you ready for the Aztecs this weekend and more. Stay with us. John and Jim, San Diego Sports 760, live on the iHeartRadio app. All right, hey guys, it is John and Jim again for the all-new Humul Casino Resort, the Players Place. You got to get to their hotel and spa. Now open. It's the next level of luxury. It's arrived. You can treat yourself to a stunning new stay. They've got rooftop relaxation, indulgent spa treatments, and all the thrills of Humul Casino Resort now all in one unforgettable destination.
Yeah, and savor San Diego's ultimate endless dining experience at Humul 23 from their world-famous lobster brunch served every morning to luxurious VIP endless dining experience each evening, indulgent chef-curated specialties, fresh seafood, prime cuts, and decadent desserts, all with stunning panoramic views.
And again, we told you the spa is open. You can unwind in style, experience pure relaxation with indulgent treatments, serene spaces, and a retreat designed to refresh your body and mind only at Humul Casino Resort. Learn more, book a treatment today at humulcasino.com/spa at the all-new Humul Casino Resort, the Players Place.
All right, this update's brought to you by eBay. World Series Game 5 underway at Dodger Stadium. Blue Jays have an early 2-0 lead as they went back-to-back to open the game against Blake Snell. Moving over to tonight, we're about 30 minutes away from SDFC Midweek Live as they'll recap Game 1 this past Sunday night and get you ready for Game 2 this upcoming Saturday in Portland. Swapping out your tires, there's nothing like it. With eBay, you find the feel you're looking for, from smooth highway rides to grip for rough terrain. Get all the tires you need at the prices you'll love. eBay, things people love.
It has been a rocky start for Blake Snell. In fact, he has not pitched well in the World Series. He allowed 5 runs in 5 innings in the opening game of the World Series. And today, as Jim just told you, 2 home runs and now a base hit in the second inning as well. So listen, is it early? Let me answer that. Yes. But you can't ask for a better start than this if you're Toronto.
Here's the Blake Snell we all remember, except for the Cy Young year in 2023.
But no, I mean, it's true. At times he can be as good as any. And we've also seen this as well with Blake Snell.
Yeah. No doubt about it. We've seen this version of Blake Snell a lot.
A good amount.
Now, we've also seen this of the version of Blake Snell where he's dominant. But
you're right.
When Blake Snell is off, it's not good.
Correct.
It's kind of like they swapped Kershaw for a new Kershaw.
little bit. See. I mean, Blake Snell's career in the World Series, actually.
He's had some very good outings.
Yeah. That was with the Tampa Bay Rays.
Yeah. I mean, he was pulled. Was it not at Dodger Stadium?
No, it was in Arlington.
In Arlington.
He was pulled after 6 because of analytics. He was cruising.
Right.
And the Dodgers came back and won that game.
Exactly.
So I think win the Mickey Mouse World Series.
I think that's exactly right.
Yeah.
But this is now, here's a twofold point on this. A, Toronto leads. B, and it's not like Blake Snell was forced to throw 100 pitches in the first inning, but we know with Snell, the conversation is always about how deep he can work in a game. And if this is a night where he goes like 5 innings, and this Dodgers bullpen, yes, the 18-inning game, they certainly did their job. But they've also had some blow-ups in this series yesterday and in Game 1. So if you can somehow, take a lead with you into the 5th or 6th inning, get deeper into that Dodgers bullpen.
Yeah.
Again, this is the start that Toronto was hoping for and praying for, and they have it so far.
Yeah, it's just the start. This thing is not over. I mean, the Dodgers are very capable of, coming back, and Toronto's bullpen's not lights out either.
You're right.
There's not. They are approaching, like, we've used these guys way too much territory. And Shohei, still Shohei, right? And at Dodger Stadium this postseason, he's been incredible. So, like,
you're right. 2 runs
is nothing. I mean, you get to 7-0, then we're feeling pretty good.
Yeah, I know. I agree.
2-0.
I wouldn't expect 2-0 to hold up.
Yeah,
but you'd rather be up 2-0 than down 2-0. John fact.
What, really?
Yeah, you like that?
Wow, I like that a lot.
And
That's a good one.
We said earlier, who's the game more important for? And it's hard to say that it's not more important for the Dodgers because the series concludes in Toronto.
Yeah, and that place, like we said, unlike Dodger Stadium, the atmosphere is actually really good in Toronto.
It's going to be insane.
And so, now they do have Yamamoto pitching Game 6.
He went to CG in Toronto.
Mm-hmm. I mean, you're going to have Kevin Gausman on the mound for the Blue Jays. Every single one of his postseason starts for the Blue Jays in his career is like the same. It's 5 1/3, 5 2/3,
right,
two earned runs.
Yep.
Like, that's what Kevin Gausman's going to give you. So yeah, I don't know what Game 7 will be Glasnow against Scherzer. If that were to happen,
I think that is right. But then it's the all hands on deck game.
Tuesday.
It'll be Saturday.
Scherzer was on Tuesday, so
he'd
Wednesday,
be on 3 days
Thursday,
rest.
Friday. Yeah, 3 days rest. I don't know what they're going to do Game 7.
Well, you know what they're planning to do. Not
win it before
game.
7.
That's right. That's what they're planning to do.
Right.
So 2-0 through an inning and a half at Dodger Stadium. Blue Jays leading this pivotal. It is pivotal. Game 5 of the World Series. Yeah. What else? Padres managerial search. We touched on this earlier. There are at least 3 finalists, according to Kevin Acee, has been reporting on this really all week long. He reported that Albert Pujols, Nick Hundley, and Ruben Niebla are finalists. There could be a mystery finalist. He reports also there are not more than 4 total people being considered. So at least 3 we know of: Hundley, Niebla, and Pujols. The 4th could be a mystery candidate. How much of a mystery is it? We don't know. And we could have resolution this week. In fact, he wrote, it's expected we'll have resolution by the end of this week.
By the way, this whole notion that teams, or at least mean, they didn't. The team didn't announce it, but there was a leak. Minnesota Twins, they hired Derek Shelton as their new manager, and this was reported like an hour ago.
Yeah, but that's not the team, dude.
I
It's
know.
like you can't stop me from knowing something.
Right. And so I'm going off of like it being reported, not the team announcing.
Oh, it could be reported any moment.
Okay.
It could be reported. I'm with you on that. Yes. I don't think we're going to see a tweet from the Padres. Have they even tweeted like in the last 2 weeks? I don't think we're going to see a tweet from the Padres. Hey, Skip, meet the new Skip, or whatever they would say.
Their admin's on vacation because they have stuff that's already scheduled for just birthdays. Let's see here. 1, 2, the last 3 posts from the Padres have just been birthday posts.
So how many tweets have they had over the last 5 days or 7 days or this week?
None. Or no, 1.
That's crazy.
Yeah. And 2, actually. Sorry.
2 this week?
3 this week.
It's nothing.
Well, the last week they had a birthday post for Mud.
Okay.
They had a birthday post for David Morgan. They had a birthday post for Bryce Johnson.
So it's all birthday.
Yeah, it's just like I don't know. It's stupid.
But it's not like, hey, tune into Game 5 of the World Series tonight on Fox.
They had a birthday post for Brian Hoeing.
Man, everyone's having a birthday apparently this month.
I know. They had a stop bullying post, which turned into make fun of Mike Schilt post.
Right.
On the day that Mike Schilt quit, by the way, they posted this. It was just funny.
Now we're going back a couple of weeks.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. Oh, and then the Lan Hong Su signing.
Oh, that was huge. The point is, you're not going to see it from the Padres, but I wouldn't be surprised if you saw reporting like in game tonight. Here's who the Padres are going to name as their manager.
Right.
That could happen at any point.
No, they're not going to do that.
I mean, as in, yeah, the Padres won't, but we're going to find out.
We're not going to get a John Heyman tweet in the 4th inning like, hey, they hired Albert Pujols.
You don't think we will?
I don't think so.
We may not. But anyway, the point is, it's sooner rather than later.
It's coming soon. It's coming.
And then there'll be, again, I agree with what you said. We're not going to come on the radio if they hire Nick Hundley and be like, what?
I can't believe they did it.
And we're not going to say that if they hire Albert Pujols.
No.
I can't believe they did it.
But there'll be excitement, I think, with Albert Pujols. There'll be more intrigue than anything with Albert Pujols over any other candidate they have.
What are people going to say on social media if they hire Nick Hundley?
Good question.
They got their man. Man, I do like his background being a former catcher, spent a lot of time in San Diego.
Highly respected.
Yeah. I mean, was a front runner for the Giants before he was
hard to not like Nick Hundley.
Yeah, exactly. So I do like
very likable guy.
And then Niebla, we've talked about. I mean, Niebla, they already know what they have with Ruben Niebla. They know who he is as a man, a person, a coach, certainly.
He's been in the organization. But I do think going outside the organization, bringing in somebody to maybe shake things up a little bit.
Mm-hmm. Maybe
wouldn't be the worst thing in the world. Might have value, like you said. Yeah.
Yeah, I could see that. I could potentially see that. So that's the intrigue here locally. And then again, I mean, what's fascinating is heading into this World Series, it was like a coronation for the Dodgers, right? They had won last year.
Swept their way through the Brewers, took care of the Reds easily.
Led this series 2-1 at home. We didn't even know if we'd go back to Toronto. And funny the difference a game can make. And now, not only is it 2-2, Toronto's got an early lead. I mean, what would we say? What would the national reaction be if the Blue Jays won the World Series in terms of like improbabilities? Like it was an assumption that the Dodgers were just guaranteed to win it.
There'd be little praise for the Blue Jays and more what went wrong with the Dodgers.
Absolutely.
You're not going to have Colin on his show. He doesn't talk baseball anyway. He doesn't know baseball, but
he would talk about the Dodgers.
He would talk about how the Dodgers, I don't know, he might spin it. I'm already waiting. If the Blue Jays win this thing, I'm waiting for that first national guy to spin it as the Dodgers really won it, but they actually lost it.
Imagine? Yes, I need that as well.
Yeah. I need that spin job from some loser out there.
But you're so right.
In the media world.
Especially if Toronto wins it, again, a Canadian team, it's going to be all about this Dodger, like what went wrong.
Yep.
It's not going to be about
Blue Jays were great.
Be talking about the Blue Jays to start the offseason.
Dude, if the Blue Jays win this series, again, I've rarely seen it's a big if.
Yep.
Okay. If they win this series, I haven't seen like barely any coverage today about the job that Shane Bieber did last night, how he completely outpitched Shohei Ohtani.
Yeah, he was
after the just gut punch of a loss in game 3.
You're right.
To come out the next day and shove. I haven't seen any of that.
I haven't seen any. It's such a good point.
And if they go on to win, how do you not look at Shane Bieber as like one of the biggest heroes of the World Series if the Blue Jays were to win this?
On the road against this team with, arguably as good of a roster as we've seen in the history of the sport, right?
It's definitely the highest paid roster in the sport.
Yeah, not just highest paid, but like look at who's on this roster. How many Hall of Famers are on the Dodgers team?
Right. The Dodgers are trying to buy World Series, and they go out and they get all the good players.
So if you turn a series around that you ultimately win by winning on the road in game 4, that should be celebrated for forever in Toronto, like he's Joe Carter.
It should be celebrated around baseball as one of the greatest, one of great performances in World Series history.
It won't be though.
It won't be because the national media, all they care about is the Dodgers and Shohei Ohtani.
Correct. Like I joked with Tim Murray earlier, if the Blue Jays win this series in 6, when does Ohtani get the MVP? Like, how do they present Ohtani with the MVP trophy?
Exactly. I
at the Rogers Center.
I want a national writer to vote Ohtani
100%.
Because I just want to see the.
What
backlash.
if it goes 7? Hear me out. Blue Jays win in 7.
Yeah.
Ohtani homers in the 7th game,
but they lose.
Pitches a scoreless inning or 2 in the 7th game,
and they lose.
Right. Reaches base safely 4 times in the 7th game. They lose. And he's voted MVP.
No shot. Can't. No shot.
I know.
No shot. It would be the biggest joke.
I know.
Of ever.
I agree. All right. We'll take a timeout. SDFC Midweek Live coming up at 6 p.m. Updates in Game 5 of the World Series on the other side. Plus, Jim's back page is coming up next. Stay with us on San Diego Sports 760 on the iHeartRadio app. All right, Jim's back page coming up. SDFC Midweek Live coming up in about 13 minutes. Darren Smith in studio coming up in about 13 minutes. So stay tuned for that. Game 2, pivotal. That's a pivotal game in Portland. Game 2 of a 3-game series.
It's a win or go home for Portland.
But not, well, San Diego to win and you could come, or if you don't win, you come home for game 3.
But you don't want to put yourself in that situation.
No.
You don't want to put yourself in a win or go home.
That's a pressure situation.
Now,
for the 1 seed?
Yes. Now, yeah. If you take advantage here and you win on Saturday night, then yes, it goes to single elimination, knockout. But the good news is, like, the road to the MLS Cup final goes through San Diego, which is
like that.
Pretty cool.
Yeah, you're right. If they don't make the MLS Cup, it's not going to be because, I mean, you're winning or losing in San Diego.
Exactly.
Yeah, there's no path where you're not playing at home.
Right, because even if they lose to Portland on Saturday, still come home to play. So, yeah, everything goes through San Diego to the MLS Cup.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah, unless, we'll see about who they would potentially play. That's looking super far ahead. But if they were to play like Philadelphia, then they're going on the road.
Oh, yeah. The East, there were 3 or 4 teams with more points than San Diego.
Yeah.
So there would be a distinct possibility of that. Good point.
So if I'm looking here,
Miami, Philadelphia, and maybe someone else.
All right. So SDFC racked up 63 points on the year.
How many in the East, though?
There are 3 teams in the East that have more than 63 points.
Right.
Miami, Cincinnati, Philadelphia.
So there's a decent chance one of those 3 represents the Eastern Conference.
Could you imagine Miami versus SDFC? Messi versus
Let's go.
SDFC?
Where
Dude, that would be crazy.
But that would be in Miami just based on points, right?
I think so.
I think that's Darren. I have to assume that.
I think so. Because last year, the MLS Cup final was at Galaxy.
How do they? It has to be based on points. Has to, right?
Has to. It's like you're not going to have a home game here if you had more points than the other team.
Hosted by the finalists with the better regular season record. That's all it says.
Okay.
Determined by overall points.
Okay. There you go.
All right. 2-0 Blue Jays in the top of the 3rd inning. This crucial game 5. And right now, let's get to this. What have we missed?
You know what an advent calendar is, right, John?
I just got one for Jones.
What kind?
Topps Holiday Basketball.
Of course you did. Like the card, like cards, or like
figures? I think though you get something every day. It's Topps Holiday Advent, but I don't know what it is. This is what I got. It's $50.
You didn't read like what
it doesn't. Look at the description. No joke, because I'm going to show it exactly to you, because I'm curious to get your thoughts. This is what it says.
Okay, scroll down.
Holiday Advent calendar.
There you go. Click on that.
It's just nothing. It's just pictures.
Yeah, but it shows you like what could be inside of it. Right?
Oh, I didn't click that.
Oh my gosh!
But look, like
John is. How do you function as a human being?
I applied to be social media director.
How is this possible?
Tampa Bay Rays.
John could get the advent calendar from Bad Santa after Billy Bob eats all the candy and puts like NyQuil tablets in there, and John wouldn't know. He'd go, "Oh look, Jones, you got a NyQuil tablet."
Okay, but I know what an advent calendar is, but I don't know how this is an advent calendar. But go on.
It shows you like what's in it, right?
Yeah.
Click on it. Okay, there you go.
Look, a little Cooper flag ornament.
Yeah, you could get these.
And look, I want this. Ace Bailey jersey.
So these are the potential cards that could be in there.
think.
Like those are
but it says 24 holiday plaid base parallels.
Okay, so
20 making the nice list inserts.
Yeah, so those are cards.
Anyway, I got it for Jones.
Well, Red Bull, John, is selling a Christmas advent calendar for just $49. Red Bull is getting festive this year with the launch of its first ever Red Bull advent calendar, giving fans a high energy way to count down to Christmas. The limited edition holiday box includes 24 mini cans of Red Bull and a mix of classic sugar-free and special edition flavors, including the popular winter edition Fuji apple and ginger and a new festive edition pomegranate flavor.
No thanks.
So on the 30th day, you get a heart attack.
Yeah. No, thank you.
You want
Christmas.
Yeah, you do the advent calendar and you don't sleep for an entire month.
Exactly.
You're just up for 24 straight hours.
It's kind of creative, but you are definitely addicted after that.
Definitely addicted. Yeah. So we were talking about this during the break. during like the World Series and they other big sporting events, they'll have like special featured food items, right?
At the stadiums or arenas.
Yeah. Dodger Stadium, they did a tomahawk steak at Dodger Stadium.
To be fair, would you agree? It looks good. I don't even eat meat. I think it looks good.
Would I eat it? Yes.
Yeah,
now the tomahawk steak I'm looking at looks overcooked.
Okay.
Like I don't see any red in here. I just see overcooked meat.
I love overcooked. That's how I like steak.
Are you serious?
I'm dead serious, man. I need well done. I'm serious.
Oh my gosh.
When I saw that thing, I'm like, oh, that looks so well done. I love a well done steak.
You want it like leather? Like
yeah, I love that.
You don't eat it though.
I do. No, well, I'm a vegan.
I know, but when you did eat it, that's how you ate it?
Oh, 100%.
I hate you.
I know. My dad was the opposite. It was just red.
No. It can't. No. You need medium rare. Okay. If you don't eat your steaks medium rare,
you're a murderer.
You're a murderer. You're a psychopath.
I like it well done.
If you eat steaks well done leather,
like a hamburger,
you're an awful person.
Like a hamburger.
No, not like a hamburger. Okay. Anyway, the story is, guess how much this stupid thing is?
I know the answer.
Okay. Brent, do you know how much this thing is?
I told him.
Oh, you did? Okay. Never mind.
But is it more than 150? I thought it was 150. Is it more?
No, it's $150.
Because Julian Delgado did something today where he said it was like 160 or 165.
That's tax, bro.
Okay, that makes sense. Yeah, that makes sense.
So I am not spending $150 on a tomahawk steak at Dodger Stadium. Give me a break.
No. Yeah, he said full report on the Dodgers, $165 tomahawk steak.
No shot.
No way.
No shot.
Now, for free, I'm being honest, for free, would I try this if I ate meat? I mean, it looks good. It's a huge steak. But you're right. It does look well done.
Yeah, no shot.
Right.
I like that it has a handle.
Yeah, you saw. Okay, so you still.
Yeah, I looked at it.
Yeah.
They cut off the handle.
They cut it off and then serve it to you.
Yeah.
There's like a chef that's going to cut it.
Well, it's true. It's Dodger Stadium. Someone's going to get stabbed if they don't do that. It's probably a safety concern.
Finally, this is Brent's favorite story, maybe ever, but Angel Reese, his favorite basketball player of all time, currently filed today to have her name trademarked, and she got approved. Angel Reese is now trademarked.
But her name?
Her name.
She already has name, image, likeness for her name.
Because everyone's naming their kids after her.
Angel Reese.
That's so weird.
Filed for an LLC trademark that got approved.
I thought you were going to say she filed for double.
No, she already did.
Me-bounds.
She already, Me-bounds.
Me-bounds.
Yeah.
She did?
Yeah. Trademark for Me-bounds.
Okay.
And her name.
Angel Reese. It's hers now via trademark.
Is she even like, what's going on with it?
I don't know.
Who
You're saying,
cares?
does she have a good year or is she falling off?
I have no idea what her deal is. I know she was in some
off?
Victoria's Secret thing.
Yeah, she was.
I heard she fell off because she got into it because she made comments about her teammates during a post-game press conference that didn't sit well with her or the Sky. I mean, that's Chicago's name.
Don't sexualize me, but I'm going to do a Victoria's Secret runway.
She averaged 15 and 13 this year.
It's not bad. How many games? Like 3?
What was her field goal percentage?
30. Her
Impressive.
field goal percentage is only 45%.
Ugh. By the way, our poll that we ran concluded Albert Pujols, a whopping 71% of people want him to be the Padres manager.
71%. STFC Midweek Live with Darren Smith coming up next right here on San Diego Sports 760.
Okay.